Welcome back to A Corporate Time. Let's do some voicemail.
All right, buddy. If you'd like to leave us a voicemail message, super easy to do. Get our free app with all of our content on there. You can even sign up to be a BDM member. While you're perusing the app and looking around, you'll see a little spot that says mediocre messages. If you click on that, you can leave us a message just like this one right here.
Sounds like this. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Hilton Head BDM. You guys are talking on ACT about someone brought up the healthy wage.
Oh, that was that website where you can bet.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that? Yeah, I just want to clarify that we're not talking about like minimum
Michaels
wage.
thing, right?
Yeah, Jillian Michaels, healthy wage. You can
bet on losing weight.
Yeah,
basically.
bet on losing weight on this website.
It's been around for years, and you guys automatically call this scam. But I'm actually the guy, Hilton Head BDM, I'm actually the guy who won when you guys were still in the quarry. I won the weight loss contest. I was one of the 300-pound dudes who, I got down to like 229 and won. I beat that Dallas Cowboys loser. So
God, still mad about it, huh?
But I also did the healthy wage, and they paid out too, man. Huh. So it's actually a really cool thing. You can you basically bet. You can say like I'll do like $50 a month for 1 year. You can do 100. You can do 500, whatever you want, and you can win up to $10,000 if you meet your goal. So it's actually pretty cool. It's not a scam in any way, shape, or form. It's legit. It pays out. You can play around with it and see how much you would lose, how much they would pay, depending on how much money you put in. So, check it out. Because there's nothing that makes you want to lose weight like money, right?
Like health. I would like to think that being on death's door, not that I am, but I'm just saying I would like to think, that my doctor talking to me would be like, okay, I gotta make some changes.
That doesn't work.
Only money, huh?
Not even only, believe me, money doesn't work either. What this gentleman, we didn't say it was a scam per se, like they wouldn't pay out. We said it's a scam like casinos are a scam, right? Where the odds are against you.
It's favored to the casino.
The house.
It's favored to the house.
Yeah. The house has the advantage.
They know most people are not going to lose the weight. Yes.
So even though you're the exception to the rule or one of the 40% who does take advantage of it, or
would
the 60%.
Would we consider this like an MLM? Because you are recruiting people that are paying in, but they're not necessarily going to get paid out.
Yeah, the multi-level marketing only works when you get paid from the amount of people under you, and it's not even about selling the product, it's about getting the people under you, and then them selling the people under them.
Yeah, but what if that is part of their marketing of like, hey,
it could be.
Get some of your other friends to sign up, and then we'll throw you, some of their pay-in money.
It could be like shades of that maybe. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it could be. Like especially as far as when it comes to word of mouth, you know, and like getting people to
like
go
a sign
there.
up program.
I guess the difference is
like sign up a BDM
I haven't even been
and
on
you
the
might get a
website to
prize.
check it out.
Is this guy like a circuit weight loss contestant? Because
I think he did it at the same time. I think that's why he said that they also paid out.
So
he got
they
money
did it at the same
from
time?
the quarry and from. But then has this thing been around that long? Healthy wage?
It'd be interesting if there was just a guy out there that.
Oh, wow.
Can lose weight extremely effectively, but can gain weight fast, and he just...
he skirts the system.
Well, he just enters these contests and these radio promotions and stuff, and then he loses the most amount of weight and wins, and just like a circuit girl in bikini contest back in the day.
So how do they do it? A $10,000 top prize.
You bet on yourself, right? It's like you put in the money and then they'll like match it or give you more and if you lose, then they keep the money. It's kind of like that, right?
Yeah, but you got to have a lot to lose to be on the hook for a lot of money. So like you'd have to be pretty unhealthy to get to the 10,000. You see what I'm saying? You can't jump in here just Joe average. If you're
a few pounds overweight.
Yeah, if you're like a dude that like seriously you want to lose like 12 pounds, I mean, good for you, but you're not going to get any big payouts. So it's not. You're right. The hook's not there.
And just like scratch off tickets or the lottery or whatever, if everybody did achieve and win and take advantage of this, this wouldn't be around, right? The fact that this even still exists after this long means that they have the advantage, and even though you think you could do it, math says differently.
And you might be able to do it, but then you might gain it right back.
Well, that's the thing, too. Then there's like,
maintaining the weight
Yeah,
loss.
yeah, yeah.
Because she's also one of the hosts. I don't know if she still is. I haven't watched The Biggest Loser in years, but most of those contestants would lose a bunch of weight on the show, and then as soon as the show was over, they'd gain it all back.
Yeah. And that's what happens and then either slowly or you just fall back into your own ways, old ways.
It's easy to lose weight when you're 24 hours in a facility with a trainer and a chef, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's doing basically everything for you, and you're not having to go to work and deal with all that crap.
But even with this looks
Your
like...
goal must be at least 10% of your current weight for them to even take you.
Okay.
Because I'm filling this thing out. There's no way. If you just want to lose like a couple pounds,
Yeah.
No, it
Not-
has to be
not for you.
Yeah.
Not for you.
And again, just like gambling and insurance and everything, they know the stats, and that's why they've figured out, like, your goal must be 10% of your current weight, because that's what is impossible for people to do, and that's why they have the edge, right?
you got to find
And that's
somebody. You could find somebody, though, that's really good at this, and it would be possible for them, I think, to skirt the system. If you found like a buddy that you can...
Yeah, but you could. They only let you apply once, and like there's
Yeah.
rules that so you can't just go every
Sure,
year and do
yeah,
it,
yeah.
because there's people that could lose extreme amounts
yeah,
of weight. I mean, you
yeah.
could lose water weight in a day.
Oh,
MMA
yeah.
fighters
Just
cut
sweat
stuff.
yourself
Yeah.
out, yeah.
And so anyway, it's all everything. Any of these companies, they're not stupid. It's all math for them. That's why all these car warranty companies give you a call, and there's so many warranties, and
Yeah.
there's so much insurance and all stuff. They're just they have the edge. They make it so they always have the edge, just like casinos. And so if you buy into them, yes, people do end up getting lucky, and then your transmission fails or whatever the hell else,
Yeah.
and you get paid out. But that's rare. Most of the time, you just pay it, and they get the money.
Indeed.
And then so that's what it all is. So before you sign up for any of this, just ask yourself, like, there's a reason why this company's doing this, because they win more than 60% of the time or whatever.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Correct.
And so, you are going in at,
Also, just the
on
sign
a
that they're
disadvantage.
still in business and their website is as nice as it is, should
Yeah,
be
they
signs
would- yeah,
to you
yeah.
that they are thriving right now with you not losing weight, but you are losing money.
Yeah. When you buy a scratch-off ticket, they're pre-printed. They know exactly how much
man.
money they're going to give out and exactly how much money they're going to get.
I had an altercation this morning, related, unrelated. Yeah, standing in line trying to buy my Mountain Dew poison, where there was a man in front of me that wanted a specific type of scratch-off lottery ticket. He was in front of me getting the lottery ticket. I was next in line. He wanted this one particular $5 ticket or $10 ticket, and he saw one that was the similar, but the colors were different. So on the top of it, it said $10,000 grand prize in green. And then the one in the case had $10,000 grand prize in blue. Mm-hmm. And he was dying on the hill. He was not going to, the lady was trying to give him a green one.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, green's
That's
not my
not the
color.
one.
That's not my, and he was attaching
Yeah.
folklore and ghosts and his
Superstition.
rituals and
Yeah.
superstition to it. He was like, nah, green's not my color. And I just sat there. I can understand now why people get mad in
Yeah.
these lines. I mean, I
I
get
got
it.
infuriated yesterday when a lady was in the 10 items or less line.
Yeah.
And she had more than 10 items, but she split them into 2 separate transactions. And I'm like, no, now it's even longer for me.
This is not the intent of this.
Right.
You're just by splitting it. Yes. Now
I like those people though. I've come
I hate
full
that.
circle on them because they're scamming the system. Like this guy, I almost felt like I wish the lady, and she wasn't gonna do it. They were kind of arguing about he's like, I've never seen him like that. They're
Like,
supposed to
what
be.
do you want me to do? That's all I got.
Yeah, he's like, they're supposed to be green, and she's like, no, I've only got blue ones. And she calls the other lady over. Are these supposed to be blue? They're
Oh,
green.
my
And so
God.
I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know what? They should have a rule in the morning when we're all trying to just get awake and just get a little something to eat. No lottery. I'm sorry. No lottery in the morning. You got to do that because it's not a priority, right? Is that something we all need? I wanted to say, and there was a split second where the chirper in me took over, and I was feeling confident because I had my overalls on. I wanted to turn to the guy and go, you're wasting time to lose $10. You're literally wasting all of this time you're not going to win. Scratch it in front of me. Scratch it in front of me so I can prove to myself that all you were doing is wasting time and money in one perfect little package. No lottery in the morning, I'm telling you. It should catch on.
Well, the stores, they need the lottery.
Lottery at night.
They make a
Lottery
lot
at night.
They, the people that buy scratch-off tickets
God.
are going to be superstitious.
You can't tell people when to buy their lottery. Then they can tell you when you can buy your Mountain Dews.
That's fine. That's fine. Also, I'd like to point out, I'm very, very quick when I get Mountain Dews. There's no way that guy... In fact, I'm so fast at getting Diet Mountain Dews when I get them that guy would be early if he were behind me. That's how fast I am.
When are they going to start putting self-checkout in like Wawas and 7-Elevens?
They need it in Wawa now because Wawa, they don't know how to run
It's
a
coming
line.
soon, right?
Wawa's the worst.
Because people
All robots.
will just
Well, you can do mobile order at Wawa and just go grab your thing off the shelf.
Oh, Ghost says that Wawa's already got self-checkout. He
Yeah.
uses it every day.
Okay, well, yeah. Then I figured most places are transitioning into that.
Do they have a person there to teach people that use Wawa, because most of them are trash, how to use the line?
What do you mean? Oh, you're back in the line.
They're the worst. Wawa is the worst. They have the worst queue. That's what the British call it. They have
It's the same
worst
with Walgreens. Walgreens has the same.
bad queue as well.
It's the same setup. One on each side.
Yeah,
Just keep it one
It's
side.
a bad setup. It's just a bad setup. Yes, sir.
I was just saying, there's got to be some. The stores are eventually just going to turn into you walk in and then you get your stuff and then leave, and then it calculates through your phone or whatever else. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna turn into that, right? Where
I think so.
You know, there's an easier buy and go process. You don't have to interact with anyone. I mean, self checkout is close.
Going on what you're saying, though, let's take the scenario I'm bitching about and apply what you're saying. Had it been self checkout, this guy would have had no recourse to talk to somebody about the color of the lottery ticket being different. So yeah, it would have sped it up for me, right? Because no human there, nobody to ask. Either get a ticket or don't, or move on. You know what I mean? Like
There's going to be a human, and especially for lottery, because don't you have to be 18 to buy those?
You do.
Well, they have the machines now, and you can walk up to them if you were
That's
a
true.
kid.
They don't verify it at the machines,
No.
do they?
Well,
No. I mean, I guess if they're looking at you, I'm like, hey,
Right.
kid, get like, they can yell at you if they
I didn't
want.
think about that.
Yeah, no one really cares about the rules.
You can't, quote unquote, redeem it unless you're 18.
Correct.
Yeah. And that's
Correct.
what, you know, and then if they could prove that
So it
under
would've sped
18-year-old
it up.
bate, they won't give it to you. That's another thing,
That's
too.
true.
Like,
Or
Oh,
how
they
about
love
just,
that.
How about just put all the lottery and scratch-offs in a machine?
I'm okay with that. Just
Then-
speed it up.
Then you don't have to even worry about them holding up the line. They got their own machine line.
Yeah, like again,
Right?
this isn't about him not getting his lottery. Get your lottery, brother, and I hope you win. It's about it was a
Number one line holder upper is a lottery
yeah.
scratch-off person.
And I
yes.
look, I want you to get your lottery. In fact, I want you to get it faster. You know, that's inexcusable. You should not have had to do that. You should. You know, and he was like talking about how often he plays it. He knows the colors, and I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna be here forever.
you know, there are like probably a lot of things that we just assume, like, and this happens all the time in society. And this brings me to masks because I feel like before the pandemic, if you know, there's a lot of rules in particular stores where you can't wear masks inside. Because they were worried about getting robbed
right,
or whatever, you
which
know,
was
like,
all BS.
well, then, you know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden we turn into a world where like wear a mask everywhere.
Only wear a mask
and
inside,
then,
yeah.
And then guess what? The robberies didn't go up.
No.
Like nothing
No.
happened. Nothing
No.
happened. People were wearing masks in banks. Nothing happened, right?
No.
Because guess what? No one's just gonna wear a mask, walk in the bank, and be like, I'm gonna rob this. Like no one starts robbing places on a whim,
Just
right?
because you can wear a mask.
Exactly. So, but that's what society had always told us, you know, back, we're like, hey, you can't wear a mask in a bank, or you can't walk into 7-Eleven or a convenience store or a gas station with a mask on. You're crazy. You know, like, and then so that didn't happen. So then I bet a lot of other things that we do about, like, you know, verifying people's ID when buying alcohol and stuff like that, that
I don't think
No,
I've been.
underage drinking happens anyway.
I don't
Doesn't
think
matter.
I've
yeah,
been
it's like-
carded. Honestly, guys, I don't think
Well-
I've been carded one time during the pandemic. Like 2 years of doing this.
I got
all
carded
the-
a ton, and I'm like, do you want me to take my mask down? They're like, no. And I'm like, okay. Well, I could just not be who I am
Now-
on my ID, but
Now,
Yeah.
I do
Like,
get
so
a
did-
dumb old man card for being a regular at my ABC. You
Mm-hmm.
know, maybe they know me, but I haven't been carded in the entire duration of the pandemic.
like we're moving towards a society where everything just goes through your phone and your credit cards and everything, and then your phone and your purchasing, like they know how the age you are, no one
well,
has to
they'll
verify.
know
You know
if
what I'm
it's
saying? Like,
you. I mean, you think there'll be a system where as soon as I walk in, they look on their little, tablet or whatever they're using, and they instantly know, oh, it's Dan Dennis,
Probably.
And,
Well, maybe in the far enough future, but even with the, if everything's bought through your smartphone, your credit card, your driver's license is going to be on there, your account or whatever. So it's like when you purchase alcohol, there's no need to verify your age because it's you purchasing it. They know you're over 21 because, something like that. And then people will think, well, there may be a spike in underage drinking because what if that person uses their parents' phone or whatever? And then it turns out okay, that doesn't happen. It's just like the mask thing.
Yeah.
No one starts, there's not a huge uptick in robberies.
Not
It's
a
just,
thing. Not a thing at all.
Yeah. All right, bye-bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So what do you want to do?
What is now, I've never known this. It's probably come up on the show casually. We've probably answered it, but I'm throwing it out there again. I saw our buddy Brendan O'Connor from Bungalower in the Bus on Real Radio. He was he and his partner Scotty were eating a king cake.
Yes.
What is a king cake, and why do you want to find the plastic baby that has been baked inside the cake? Why did that start? Why is that a thing? Have there been multiple lawsuits about people choking on the baby?
I have no idea what this is. Never even heard of it.
I was
You've
walking
never
through.
heard of a king cake?
I was walking through Publix, yesterday or sometime with you. Me and Sam are walking through Publix, and I looked
It's a
down.
Mardi Gras thing.
And there is a cake that's shaped like a ginormous donut. It's got
colorful.
white frosting on
Yeah.
it, and they make it green and yellow and purple.
Mm-hmm.
They do the traditional Mardi Gras colors. But I'm like, I don't understand. They bake a little plastic baby, like a baby doll toy, in the cake, and then whoever gets the baby slice, I guess, gets a good luck or a prize.
It's a religious thing.
Everything's a damn religious thing.
It's also known as the Three Kings cake.
Okay. I saw that movie where they steal all this stuff from Desert Storm.
I
saw that.
There's only one king in the cake, though.
So it can be any kind of figurine inside, but usually it is like a little baby.
It can be any kind of figurine.
To represent the Christ child.
Oh, so it's baby Jesus.
Don't eat the
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, you're eating the Jesus.
So it's called a king cake, but why is it called a baby Jesus cake?
No, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the King of all kings.
You
is
cut
Jesus.
the cake, and whoever gets the baby in their slice, they win the prize.
What's the prize?
I don't know. 'Cause it depends.
Let's get a king cake and do this.
But the Lord of all lords is
King of all kings.
Is 20-year-old
King
Jesus.
of all media, Howard Stern. Fartman.
But yeah. So it's not baby Jesus.
It's baby Fartman.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
It'd be better if I cut open a slice of king cake, I'm eating it, I'm like, what is that? And I dig in there, and there's a little baby Fartman figurine. I'll be like, probably worth something. Howard Stern's pretty popular. Get that Snapple money.
how is Howard Stern
You're
not?
supposed to get good fortune if you get the little
No,
baby.
I
in
want
the cake.
I want to trade it for I don't know, gift
Some people do
certificate.
give prizes
Or
out.
trade it for an Applebee's gift card or something.
Howard Stern thought it was stupid. Fartman was stupid, but that was the joke, right? Like he.
No, I don't. You know what? I think he'd slap your face over here. He never thought Fartman was stupid. You know what? You're not a real fan.
No. Well,
He thought Fartman was brilliant. Are you crazy?
but he was basically trolling regular media.
Yes.
And then look how ridiculous this is. I'm like on MTV.
I have my ass hanging out of a
They're
costume.
lowering me down
And my
on
old man ass is
Eminem.
hanging out. He had a pair of yellow pants. His old man ass is hanging out.
Yeah.
he's
That was a better
disgusting.
time when
It was a better
our
time.
90s radio DJ was hanging with assless chaps above
disgusting.
Eminem.
What if he'd fallen and killed Eminem, but then he lived just paralyzed? That'd be rough.
Yeah, so stupid.
The king cake, though, I thought that would burn real hot, but
Well, what-
that's all I got. King
Yeah.
cake.
Well,
So it's a religious tradition.
How did it get woven into Mardi Gras fabric? How did it get into the?
Oh, I think it's old school, and then Mardi Gras probably took a lot of those little things and then just adopted some
apparently
of them.
there are regional variants of it. In northern France, it is called a galette de roi. I don't know how to speak French. And it's a puff pastry filled with a frangipane. A paper crown is included with purchased cakes to crown the king or queen who finds the fave or bean inside the cake. To ensure a
Put a
random
bean.
distribution of the pieces, the
If-
youngest person is to place themselves under the table and name the recipient of each piece as they are cut. So there's different versions of it.
In France, they get a little kid under the table to tell you which slice you get, and then when you get the slice, you find the baby, they give you a paper crown.
In Louisiana and parts of the Gulf Coast region, historically settled by the French, king cake is associated with the Mardi Gras and is traditionally served since Epiphany until Carnival, and recently year-round due to gentrification and rise in tourism. It may have been introduced by settlers in 1718. It comes in a number of styles. The most simple, said to be the most traditional, is a ring of twisted cinnamon roll-style dough. It may be topped with icing or sugar, which may be colored to show the traditional Mardi Gras colors of purple for justice, green for faith, and gold for power. Cakes may be filled with cream cheese, praline, cinnamon, or strawberry. The Zulu king cake has chocolate icing with a coconut filling. And traditionally, it has a small porcelain baby symbolizing Jesus. And
It's a porcelain baby. That'll crack your teeth out.
Yeah, you can't bite into that. It is hidden in the king cake and is a way for residents of New Orleans to celebrate their Christian faith. The baby symbolizes luck and prosperity to whoever finds it.
Around here, you should put
So there's
teeth.
many forms of this baby in a cake situation.
Around here, you should put teeth in the cake, so when people bite into it, they find teeth.
And if you get luck and prosperity for the year, but you also are responsible for purchasing next year's cake.
Yes,
or
now-
hosting the next Mardi Gras party.
That I
Okay,
know.
well,
You find the baby, you're on the hook for the cake.
Well, I mean, I don't want the baby.
No,
I don't
me neither.
either.
Because I don't
Me neither.
believe in like nonsense supernatural.
So it would only
good
go
luck.
1 year, though,
Yeah,
because like the
So
way
whoever
that,
got the baby,
And I don't even want this cinnamon roll dough.
I love cinnamon rolls. You want somebody to want it. You guys, if everybody takes you guys have these pee poor attitudes. If everybody takes your attitude, then next year we're getting no king cake.
well,
Because nobody wants to. I don't want the baby. I'm on the hook for the king cake.
yeah, well, it doesn't matter if you want it or not. Whoever gets it is on the hook for the king
Yeah,
cake.
but you probably lie. If you saw it in there, you'd flick it into another piece, or throw it in the trash, or flush it down the toilet, or something.
These are the type of things
You
that
hate.
single people, or not single, without kids, people do, right?
No, Sam wouldn't do this, and she
No,
doesn't have
I
kids.
would
This
never
is
do
what.
that.
Well, I mean,
this is what you,
the
this
kids
is what,
rob you of all the extraordinary fun that
Are you
would
saying
do.
who brings a king cake to work? The lady who owns the most amount of cats and is single will bring a king cake to work
or the
and
party.
set it up.
Right? Because they love Mardi Gras.
Like Brendan O'Connor, he's like doing the king cake tradition
No, he
because
did it with
it's cool
his boyfriend. Like he's not
Yep.
doing it with.
No, I'm saying
Like,
because
he wanted
you got
cake.
you got no kids. You know, what I'm saying you can enjoy being an adult and do fun things like this.
Is that fun?
well?
This
It's,
does not sound fun to me.
He was squishing it with his hands. Did you see the video?
I didn't see
it was funny because he wanted the goddamn baby and he was just smushing the whole cake because I don't think he got it. I think Scotty got it. I think he was mad.
it's like you're doing this old tradition, this kind of hipstery, and like you know what I'm saying.
Let's
like,
do the world's largest king cake and then find one of our listeners to give us their actual baby to hide in the cake. I'm telling you, dude, nobody's done that.
So let's talk Mardi Gras for a second.
I've never been.
Me either.
Is it still as popular as it used to be?
No.
And are there as many flashing girls?
No, because girls
Cell
now,
phones, right?
Girls now have empowered themselves, a la Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
They're
and
showing their
now
tees everywhere.
Yeah, you don't need to be a Mardi Gras. You just get their Instagram and you load up Britney Spears. You can see anything you want. I'm serious.
And
Women
screw
are,
the beads. Just go on OnlyFans and get cash money.
Yeah, give
Yeah,
them
but
some
there's
cash
some-
and you can see everything. You can see their butts.
There's still something about seeing it live that
Yes,
I'm
Bill
telling-
O'Reilly.
I'm just saying,
Old Bill O'Reilly over here.
seeing some teas live is still more exciting than
I
anything
agree.
you could see on the internet or your phone or whatever. It's
I
just
agree.
like
It's like seeing animals in a zoo versus, watching Nat Geo.
now maybe as we get closer to VR and that that's trying to like take some of that.
I don't think anything will really replace,
Well, if it's real enough for trick your brain into thinking it's live, then it's the same.
But I
give you
still
the same
realize
thing.
it's like cartoon. Okay, where I'm trying to make you understand the difference is that you can trick your brain to make it think that you're standing in like a cartoon universe, but cartoon tees are still cartoon tees.
Of course, yes. I'm assuming that VR gets to a point where we're looking at
I hope so.
actual reality.
I hope
Something like
so.
that.
Then I could go to Mardi Gras. I could stand on a balcony, right?
But so
Virtual balcony. There's people flashing.
I have no interest.
so back.
You have no interest. You're the Michael Jordan of Mardi Gras. You should have been there. You're missing
I
your
don't
window.
want to go.
well,
I want to go to New Orleans for the food, but I don't want to go during Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
That's probably
it's
a
things
smart
like PB,
choice.
don't know
It's
where to
just
go. Yeah.
drunk people peeing everywhere.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
Pretty much.
Bunch of old horny dudes asking me to show
Yeah.
my tees. It's like a BDM event.
Yeah,
It's like being
yeah.
in it's like being in any lazy river,
Yeah,
except
yeah.
there's no water.
So it's
except for the pee-pee.
There's people peeing everywhere in the lazy river.
And maybe it gets to a point like right now are the worst of times for flashing, but we're moving towards.
No, I think we're in a good spot right now because a lot of people are convinced that this is the end. And when you're convinced it's the end,
who's convinced it's the end?
Oh, there's tons of people that are thinking this is the end of the world.
No, that's only a couple. Only
no,
some
you're speaking.
yahoos.
You're speaking because we're in Florida and everything's different, a little bit different here.
Yeah, but for the most part, I mean, I don't even really believe that some of the cults really 100% believe that it was the end of the world.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like for the Velcro shoes.
well, no. If those people, they believe they killed themselves for it. Like they damn sure.
They were ride or die.
Yeah. I think some comedian makes a joke about it, but the other people that just wait for it and then nothing happens, they go on.
They keep moving the date back.
Yeah,
Tell me if you're
believe.
channeling this thought. Right now, I'm thinking about, because you're talking about, are we at the end of the Mardi Gras flash? Are we at a good time or at a bad time? There was a sweet spot, I want to say, very early 2000s, 2003, 4, 5, 6, where girls flashing, seemingly based on video evidence that I was able to see on adult sites, would progress to a point where there would be a lady servicing multiple men in a circle in the streets of New Orleans. You've seen these videos, sir.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, was this how it goes down? Does this happen a lot? Because I don't want to see that.
That's some, a rando that...
Things got a little out of control.
Yeah. I think for the more, and by the, when I say it's going to come back, I mean, I feel like now and maybe in the past 10 years, women have been more apprehensive about flashing because they don't want that picture on the internet, right? And
Where
I'm saying,
are we at with bras, or as Maisie calls them, booby bras?
What do you mean?
If you're under 30, you're not wearing them.
Well, but a lot of them aren't like the one. Like my wife, when I look at her brassiere, I'm like, oh my God, is that bulletproof? Like, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that at Bass Pro? Because it's like Carhartt, it's big, it's got the padding in it, it's got the straps.
Pockets.
But like most young girls, if you look at any advertisement, it seems as if they're wearing just two small T-shirt cups that they lay their breasts inside.
Yeah, that's a young woman's game.
It is a young woman's game.
Yeah, so, that's the way it goes.
Well, I'm just saying I think it's going to be easier based on that, anecdotal evidence, based on the fact that women empowered. I see a lot of no bra action. I'm going to say we're in a very good spot.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying is like that women maybe now or moving forward don't care about having their boobs on the internet because
not as much.
Everybody's going to have their boobs on the internet,
yeah.
and there's so many deep fakes and stuff like that. You could always have the denial factor. I feel like 10 years ago, if someone had a picture of you flashing a Mardi Gras, they wouldn't have questioned if it was real or not. And now, and maybe 10 years in the future, you could always just be like, that's not me, it's fake or whatever. I was there, but someone just photoshopped that. And people would be like, all right, there'd be no way to know. And then, therefore, it gives you immunity to flash now because you could always
Flash
say...
immunity.
Yeah.
Well, you can always say
you
it's
didn't even
fake,
have to find
right?
the immunity idol that was buried in the woods.
So the picture lives on the internet, but so does everything.
Yeah.
And then you could always say it's fake and no one could really tell.
The chat room is bringing up something that I, as a young man, and I didn't get this window very, very long, but as a young man, for me going to concerts, or especially rock concerts, there was bigger rock concerts with metal bands or hair metal bands, those party bands. The guys that are notorious, like with the whiskey and the beer and the Motley Crues and those kind. Those bands would have a camera completely dedicated to crowd shots of women where there'd be a girl on the shoulders.
Did you watch Woodstock 99? That's all the cameramen were doing.
And the cameraman would just pan over to the
Cause
girl.
a lot of problems.
And then she'd hit the screen first, right? She'd hit the screen with her top on. Everybody'd be like, oh, and then we'd start going, whoa! Like we made it happen, right? Through pure applause. And then the girl would kind of look around like, should I do it? Should I do it? And then she'd do it. Then everybody go crazy.
Yeah.
There was a
Guys
sweet spot
ruin
in
that, though. Because guys can't keep their
ruin
hands
everything.
to themselves.
Yeah, guys ruin everything.
I think a lot more girls would flash if they didn't have the fear that they were going to be touched, honestly.
Groped.
Yeah.
And maybe it changes because like events have more, cameras and security and ways to tell what's going on. You know, I'm like, as things get advanced, you know, like in Woodstock 99, just a sea of unlimited or,
And
endless people.
And just new wireless camera technology. That's it.
There's no way to like find out what's going on. And now everything's being recorded. Everybody's got cell phones. So if people are acting inappropriately, hopefully like the public will police itself. You know what I'm saying? Like
You'd hope.
Even back then, I mean, the people that were horrible in the Woodstock 99 were probably a small group of, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the majority of men there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I feel like other people would police that, and now with the internet and video.
People.
And,
I've seen
I've
people.
seen bands even call people out saying, don't touch those girls. Or they'll even ask girls not to flash.
Yeah, I saw a guy
put your tees away.
I saw a guy just pick up a dude that was getting a little handsy and just dunk him over the barricade. Like, hey, here's some trash. Take this guy out. I'm like, oh.
And you'd be more apprehensive to do something like that once you know that everybody around you has a HD video camera in their pocket and could film you and then ruin your rest of your life or whatever. Charge you. They could use that as evidence to charge you with a sexual crime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's got to stop some people, right? And then things are getting safer now that everybody has the ability to film everybody. I don't know. I just hope that the days of flashing, that my sons can enjoy some of it.
Yeah, it's funny. Ghost of a New Bull makes an excellent point. He's like, it was a different time, and you get the girl on the shoulders, and she takes, she'd lift her. She'd have a crop top on. I'm doing the stereotype.
Top. Yeah.
And then she'd pull them out, and everybody screams. But he's right. It would be a different experience and weird altogether if there was like a girl. Like if Andrea had me on her shoulders, which is doable because very strong woman and tall. And I was on her shoulders, and then I just pulled my D out. And I was like, yeah. No one would have played. It would be. It would
whoa.
Be, yeah, I think everyone would be like, it'd be, oh no.
There was a time, though, that...
I saw some helicoptering in my day.
You lived a more beachy life than me. You were part of this. In fact...
My buddy Joe...
Well, no, just you going and watching the boat parades in Miami. Like, the beachier you get, the more dongs you get.
Oh,
Columbus if you're on
Day,
the coast.
Yeah. A lot of nude dudes.
Daytona Beach.
Yeah, but any nude resort or like play
that's
Lindo,
where you get your dongs.
Yeah.
That's the dong. The ding-dongs are there. You don't really get them at a concert.
Although my buddy, like I said, Porno Joe, used to play in this band, and then people would
the dong outs
chant Buffalo. And now that I think about it, he's under 18, so this is weird.
A bunch of pedophiles would chant Buffalo.
And then he'd show the bees, and because they were abnormally huge for his age at that time.
They're really big now.
No, he's had their long.
Oh, he grew it
because he's a 42-year-old man.
Yeah.
But they
comparatively, how much bigger? Like twice the size as you and your other friends, or like
we never.
Like how freakishly big were these things?
It wasn't that. It wasn't that much bigger, but it was like he had grown man.
Honeydew melons.
Yeah, like he had grown. I think it was like his Brazilian descent or something.
They blossom faster.
yeah. He had grown man bees. And it was impressive enough where people would chant it at the punk rock show, and then he'd show it. And then people would cheer, that's
wow! And for the encore,
they chant Buffalo Bees.
We need that Buffalo Bees.
Yeah. And then a 17-year-old porno.
Let's start
joke.
A restaurant called Buffalo Bees.
So like people would get excited for that. Although younger audience,
Buffalo Bees.
I'm sure most of us at Cheers were under 18 or around.
Oh, that was the name of the bar.
That was the name of the bar. It was a punk rock bar.
You guys were cheersing.
No,
you know what? Let two his balls.
It was a punk rock bar.
Everybody knows your bees.
Marilyn Manson performed.
Oh, no, you can't talk about him. Man, I read an article about him.
96.
I read an article about him last night. Holy crap.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he's on the hook and being investigated by LAPD, and it's not looking good.
Bad.
It's looking bad. And then
if I was him, I'd be like, Evan
Rachel
Look what
Woods.
I've been doing.
Evan Rachel Woods.
Yeah.
Like her documentary is coming out at the end of February, 2-part documentary. It basically outlines everything that she had to deal with that guy. Oh my God, he is looking bad.
Yeah, horrible person.
Yeah, horrible.
But again, That's what like. We all just assumed like, oh, this is all an act.
A character.
He's
yeah.
really just a nerd. And then, remember, that was the thing.
But
is
you know
like,
what? It doesn't matter because
No.
you can either be Marilyn Manson portraying to be a monster and be a monster, or you could be, the guy from that '70s show who was also a monster.
Yeah, right. We just don't do that.
Danny Masterson or whatever
Yeah,
his name is?
that guy.
Oh, yeah.
That's creepy too. Let's try this one.
Listening to Monday's ACT about being left in the car. My dad, after a softball game, would leave me in the car as about 7, 8 years old to go into the American Legion and drink. So there's that.
Gotta go to the Legion, buddy.
We should do stories about dads back in the day and what they used to do. Because it blows my mind so much because I can't even relate to...
Well, what, like the amount of freedom that we...
No,
had, or what?
like going to a bar and leaving Max and Tommy in the car and going to
Hell
drink.
yeah.
I can't even.
There used to be
What?
a lounge attached to the ABC on Orange Ave, close to Taft.
Can we get those back, by the way?
Those
ABC?
are cool.
Yeah, I would
You
go
could
and
smoke inside of them.
I would go and
Now-
drink at ABC.
Now I will say
We would sit in the car.
okay.
Wait.
there's a
Interesting.
suspenders. There's a little bar called Suspender Saloon near
Yeah.
in
Like
near
This guy, acts,
Castleberry.
this guy acts as
It
if
may
he
be
doesn't
the-
have a little place that they made says one wheel parking only.
It's-
You're a regular. Don't act like you don't go up there.
And I've never been inside, but if I one day, like Crystal was working or whatever, and I told the boys, I was like, hey,
Play this switch.
No,
I'm gonna
yeah,
one wheel
yeah.
up. I'm gonna one
No,
wheel
I'll
up
drive-
to,
no,
to
I'll-
suspenders.
no, let's say because it's right there.
Don't drink and drive.
Oh, hold on. Let me make my case. It's,
Okay.
It's right. If I go the back way through the apartment complex. Through,
Oh, you're going the back way?
Back
Totally
way drunk's
fine.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally fine.
through like now.
You know my rules.
I have to go on roads, but like it's the
Or
back.
do like my dad and teach your kids how to drive on the way home.
yeah. When I get home,
Yeah.
so I'm like, I go the back way, super slow through the apartment complex, right next to the.
It's all parking lots.
The
It's all
skate-
parking lots.
the
Right.
skating rink, and then I go in there. I go to Suspenders. I tell the boys, I'm like, hey, just play on your iPads.
If you need
for an
me,
hour,
if you need me, text me.
Yes.
But only text me if you
they don't
really
know,
need me.
They don't know how to do that yet.
Oh man, then I'm definitely the bad parent because May knows how to fire up her phone and fire off a text.
They don't know how to text or call. They don't know the numbers, which is probably really dangerous. But anyway,
Yeah, they know their phone numbers. The teachers
No.
make them learn that to get to the next grade. They have to memorize it to get to the next grade.
they don't know nothing.
All right.
They also don't know Spanish. They've been in Spanish, the dual language for years. And I asked them like,
love that.
do you know Spanish? And they get,
No.
Taco.
my friends remind me. I'm like, talk to them in Spanish. They talk to. I'm like, 3 years. What is it?
Nothing.
Nothing. That was the dumbest thing I ever thought of, by the way. Because I was convinced. I was like, the nanny, and then this, the dual language.
It's like
I'll know
living in
Spanish.
Venezuela.
Yeah, but they're little U's. They're not
I
going to
know.
pick it up.
Yeah. No, your
What
kids
do they
are just
do
you.
while they're
If you
teaching them
can't do it,
Spanish?
they can't do it.
What are your sons doing while they're teaching them Spanish, or while
They
they're
don't say-
talking in Spanish? Are they just sitting there like, we're in the wrong class?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, they half the
It's immersion, right? Where they talk to them.
two different subjects are taught entirely in Spanish. So I'm like, do you understand what's happening? And they're like, I guess so. I don't
we
know.
just sit there.
I'm like, but they get good grades. So I'm like, what is it? Anyway, so I go to Suspenders. I'm like, play these iPads for 1 hour. I'm gonna go inside and drink. I drink for an hour. Come out. They perfectly
Dude, for
fine.
an hour,
Right?
you can get 6 beers in an
And-
hour.
yeah,
fast.
I get in the car, drive home. It's not that bad. Like, in that scenario that I
Does
painted.
Crystal not know, or does she know?
No, she could never know. But what I'm saying is that scenario isn't
It would
the worst.
make me think about you a little
I'll
different.
never
but
do
not
that.
enough to not be your friend or dissolve the business.
But what I'm saying is the damage to Max and Tommy are not now back.
I don't think they'd notice.
No,
They're
they
too
just-
locked into that pad.
Exactly.
I know for a fact that Maisie can be on her iPad watching something
and never know what's going on.
I can walk up behind her and
Yeah.
I can walk up behind her and clap. I can dance. I can be completely naked. I can be my head on fire. She'll never notice. Never notice.
Oh, when the boys are playing Nintendo, I mean, we could bang with the door open.
Yeah.
Crystal will never do it, but I'm
No,
saying
you can do anything you
there's,
want.
They'll
Sam.
never leave that room.
Sam,
They'll
I
never
promise you when
They
I
turn
say
into zombies.
Yeah, you do have to be a parent to actually witness this. And
Yeah, but we used to be like that with the Nintendo, so I get
mean,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Just
it's
glued to the video
locked.
game.
Yeah.
Just locked.
All I'm
Yeah.
saying is like this guy, he's describing horrible child abuse nowadays with
That's
the
not
iPads.
abuse.
Well,
That's more
they-
neglect.
Well, they have nothing to look at.
It's
That
more of
guy,
a
Slightly better.
It's more of a I don't care.
that kid
Yeah.
in the 80s, he was just looking out the window sad because he had nothing to play with.
You know,
Yeah.
I will
You play
say,
I Spy,
if
yeah.
I was going to be left in a car, and my parents did not leave me in a car and go into a bar, that did not happen. But they would, and look, I think everybody did it. I was left in the car when they'd go into Montgomery Ward. I was left in the car when they go to JCPenney.
Plenty of stores.
You know, when Dad had to run in and go to
Grocery
the liquor
store,
store,
yeah.
get some Jack Daniels. You know, like I'd stay, grocery store, Winn-Dixie. But if it was a Winn-Dixie run where Mom was going to be in there and shop for a couple of weeks, she would tell me, and I'd stay in the car. She would tell me to bring toys. I'd bring a couple of Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles,
Yeah.
a couple of G.I. Joes, but I had some gear with me. So when I got in the back of the Maxima and was playing G.I. Joes, I didn't get bored. And I'd sit back there and sweat my D off because like she wouldn't leave the air on or anything. And it was like 90 degrees outside and the windows were completely up. You know, because I was safe from a pedophile, but I was going to get a heat stroke if she was more than 2 hours, right?
Oh, yeah.
But that's the way we did it.
Yeah. Fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
Bye-bye. Welcome back to A Corporate Time. All right, let's talk the internet. So,
I think it's still popular.
Yeah.
I think it's gaining in
I don't think
popularity.
it's going to go away.
I don't think it can. Too many things, you know, are dependent upon it now.
I feel like we need to have, and there should be a class, at least in high school or middle school, about people like navigating or using social media properly and like all the stuff.
OCLS.info.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OCLS.info.
Not
Go to the
ha-
library.
Not how to do it, but what not to do to waste your time.
Have you
on.
been seeing some stuff that...
No, well, I'll give you an example. So, I'll see a post every once in a while. Now, there are exceptions, and you know how I say like hive mentality. I see posts on the BDM page all the time. They're like, I want to use hive intelligence for this. Tell me the answer. You know, and like you could type in any question you want in Google, and it will, I guess, use its algorithm to pull up an answer. Now, whether or not that's right or how vetted that is,
You should probably run your eyes across it.
yeah, you should go
know,
further
but-
than that because of what the source is and stuff like that. But it'll tell you for the most part. And from my experience, it seems to be pretty accurate, right? Where
Sure.
at least it'll pull up something that'll give you the general answer to a question. Now, if you ask something that has maybe a broader, like, or subjective or something like that, then you're going to have a hard time. But if something like exact that we have like facts for is like, hey, what kind of snowboard should I buy if I'm a beginner? It'll just, someone out there, it'll
be like a recommendation.
Yeah. So there's general questions like basically the internet will answer for you. So I understand like then going to maybe a Facebook group of snowboarders and asking them because you're going to get
like they'll say
a
like,
hive intelligence.
well, once you're good, this Burton board's the best. But
Yeah.
for right now, you might want to try this particular board because it's got an easier learning curve.
And the only reason I use that example because I'm looking to buy a snowboard,
Nice.
and then I started doing some research because at first I just went to Facebook Marketplace and I'm like, first one. Then I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing the mistake
You
I
gotta
always
go
do.
new or used?
Used.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I don't need something crazy
Makes sense.
expensive.
Even in this case, I would say used is just fine.
Yeah, and I go once a year, so I'm like, whatever. Anyway, so but I see people asking questions that are
Is this good for snow?
irrelevant. No, and I'll like. So I saw a post the other day, and someone was like, "Hey, anybody have a car for sale? I'm looking for a car." And for around this price, right? And they asked that on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, you're kind of wasting the question. It's because if someone did have a car for sale, they would have listed on the internet, and all you'd have to do
Maybe.
is and look.
And they're also looking for their friends
Yeah,
to
they're
cut them
looking
a
for a
deal.
hookup.
Yes.
Yeah, but if
you
they're-
should know this, Grift Master.
Yeah, you do this. You're bitching about something you do.
Now, I understand, and I knew I was going to get this response, but this is not what I do, and how I'm doing it is a little bit different.
Okay.
And I'll explain.
I'm willing to learn.
So, for instance, if you did have a car for sale, you would be, I mean, if you got to the point where you actually wanted to sell it.
I actually
you
have
would
a
list
car
it.
for sale right now. I'm just too lazy to list it. Grift truck into
But if
discussion.
if you saw somebody post that, you might be like, "Hey, I
I
actually
would.
do."
No,
have-
you're
See?
literally what you're talking about is the example that we have. We have had a car that we could have sold for a very long time. We haven't listed it on the internet because we're lazy.
Yeah, but no, we wanted to sell it for charity. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean,
We came to that conclusion eventually, but
if we wanted to just sell it and get rid of it, we could have sold it for $500 on the internet. Now, and
I think
posting
Sam
it on the internet is not hard nowadays. It takes
yeah, but Sam may have nailed it with the emotional
then-
response of this and
yeah,
why
and then
you
you
don't
got to deal with
understand
strangers on the internet as opposed to someone on your friends list. It's a lot easier.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
there's an emotional connection here, right? Like if the person is doing that, then yeah, they do want to use the connection, the friendship that they have with that person to get money off.
it seems
Or a
odd.
smoother transaction of like not having to like text the seller and then they don't get back to you.
Yeah.
All that crap.
Do people have, and maybe I'm wrong about this, it seems like way less of a chance that someone's just randomly going to have a vehicle for sale that they haven't posted on the internet, and it's just like, yeah, I was going to get around to it, and then
Or maybe they did post it in the internet and they haven't got any bites on it.
well,
There's a lot of reasons why somebody hasn't sold a car.
but if they post it on the internet, then why are you asking on your friends list if you just
Maybe they
search
didn't see the listing.
search on the internet? But it's like, you know what I'm saying, car for sale under the price range that
It's
you're asking.
usually the easiest explanation, right? This is a lazy person.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're going about you're using social media and Facebook in the wrong way because that's not efficient. I feel like.
Well, I mean,
to find,
if they get a car that
Same
way,
thing
then
with
you can't
jobs.
make that argument, right? And that's why people use the internet in a maybe a wrong way. Like if they list that and 3 answers down, there's a person that says, oh, actually I do have a car. Well, they're not gonna not do that the next time. They're gonna continue to do that.
Well, I'm saying, is that like how often does someone randomly have a car that they haven't listed on the internet for sale? That's odd to me, right?
I think for a lot
if you wanted to sell it.
No, I know what you're saying, and I'm trying to get on board with it, but I think most people are going to do what you don't like, which is they're going to go for what they want. They're going to be selfish. Like, I need something, who's got it for me? Mm-hmm. Right? Like,
Hand it
especially
to me,
if
yeah.
they're using, like, Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's just, well, because I assume, like, all right, you're looking for a car that for X amount of price range, right?
it's going to be hard.
You're going to have more options by just searching that and putting it in Google. I'm looking for
Yeah,
used
but then
car
you gotta
for
scroll
sale.
page and page and page and look through all the different stuff when you could just put it on your timeline and maybe one of your friends happens to, they either are selling one or maybe one of their friends or family members is selling one and they can connect you.
Yeah, I think we can all agree it's half-assed.
Yeah.
Right? It's half-assed,
So
but
it's just
Less work.
You want other people, but it feels like it's more. It's better for the person looking for the car to look for the most amount of options instead of just limiting yourself to your friends list. If you're actually looking for the best price.
Okay.
I don't know.
My wife chiming in says, Daniel and I have his mom's trailer that we are just too lazy right now to post for sale. But if someone said they were looking for one, I'd be more than happy to make it happen. See, I
Okay.
think in a weird way, my wife is using our chat room to do exactly what you hate. I think my wife is dumping this information in the chat room as a lazy way of trying to get rid of the trailer that we are too lazy to list on the internet.
Well, I'll list it for you on the internet. It's taking a picture of it and then you put it on Craigslist or Facebook.
Right.
It's
It's not
not
hard.
It's, you know what I'm saying? So like I don't know. It just, maybe I'm completely wrong and that's how you should do it. It just seems.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, so I just wanted to chime in. Like, to post a car or to post a trailer, then you got to deal with, like, these people that they want to just cut a deal. So I
Yeah.
would just love for somebody just to tell me, like, hey, they're actually interested in it for this amount of price. Okay, I've got one of those. Do you want to? I think those people are more willing to then take it off your hands at that point. You don't have to deal with all this crazy people.
Okay, so you're
So
saying that
it's
by just putting it on
paranoia.
the internet, you're weeding through all of the people that are
They're going to waste your time.
That lollygagging,
Yeah.
is that how you say it?
Yes. Because if somebody's posting, I need a car or I need a trailer or I need, I think Tracy said, kayak, then you're like, oh, okay, then I have that. I just don't want to have to deal with all of the rigmarole of everything else. But here, if you're an actual interested party, so
Tire
I
kickers.
have
So
to say
Andrea's argument against what you're saying is that it cuts down the amount of tire kickers that you have to weed through. And I can remember even from your earlier days of just learning to navigate selling things online. Because let's be honest, you've been doing this for 10, 15 years. I remember being up at the radio station and you'd be your phone be ringing off the hook, and this is earlier on.
Yeah.
But your phone be ringing off the hook because you had something on Craigslist that was going. I see what both of you guys are saying.
Well, I'm more curious about the buyer though, because the person that's in the market for, let's say, a trailer, right? So I need a trailer, and
I have one.
I'm gonna assume that the most efficient way for me to find that trailer is to search trailer for sale on the internet, because everybody's selling, or not everybody, because obviously you, in this case, you don't want to deal with people. And I assume there's probably a good amount of people that don't want to, like, may sell some stuff, but are afraid of getting killed or whatever. They're paranoid.
I'm not afraid
about,
of that. I don't know what it is.
They don't want to deal with.
I think it's just the
people.
I think I just don't want the multitude of phone calls and having it, because I have a ton of stuff I'd like to sell online, but I don't ever want to do it.
And I feel like I could, just if somebody, I know it's a friend or like in the BDM group, they say they need this. I'm like, well, I know they're BDM, so they've got to be fairly cool. And so then you would rather sell it that way. And that happens a lot in, like, I'm in the dance world now, the dance resale world. I just post I'm in search of this size, this kind of thing for this event. And then people can tell me what they have rather than having to search through all of the posts for a child small, leotard in pink.
Okay, that example actually makes sense to
me.
That
does make sense, yeah.
That one makes sense to me, but the trailer thing, I would go more towards what Tom's saying, because how do you even
know? I
know?
was starting with car, like the small stuff, because you're right, like, I have a bunch of bric-a-brac that I'm too lazy to put up for sale, because I can only sell it for $30 or $50. So that is example, like, I have a bunch of stuff that I give away to BDMs if they wanted.
We have banners right now sitting in our lobby.
Carrying a bunch of crap.
I need some of you guys to drive by and get these damn banners that we have.
But, like, what I'm saying is, like, when you get to car size, that's really what struck me. Like, other smaller stuff, yes, your argument is valid. I see. It's just like the cars, like, who is holding onto a car that they haven't priced, on the internet for multiple, like for $5,000 to $8,000, they have this car. And
that makes sense.
And then I'm saying, if you wanted to sell your car, I'd assume that everybody would place it on the internet for sale, and therefore rendering asking who's got a car for sale
or
useless.
You could have an older person that doesn't know how to navigate the internet and is just too lazy.
Well, we're becoming
and they do it old school, where
Right.
they'll just park it out on a street somewhere and have for sale with their phone number on it.
True, but I assume that person wouldn't be on your Facebook page. Like
Old people love Facebook.
True.
I
true.
know.
You guys
a
have
bunch
had
of these people.
Sam keep a truck in her garage for a year.
We already brought that up. Don't talk about
Well, that's
it.
because we wanted to do something
For charity with
unique with it, and not just. We could have sold it a year ago for nothing. I mean,
Let's change subjects for a second and talk about how my wife had never heard of the term for a female's anatomy downstairs, Whisker biscuit. She'd never heard of that.
No.
I've never heard of that either.
A Whisker biscuit?
I've never heard of that term.
Sam?
I don't think I have either.
That's some
old man stuff.
I'm
on my old man grind. How's your biscuit today, honey? I gotcha.
And I was like, is it because, like, it's killer? But the whisker part is so that's the disgusting part of it.
You're so cute.
So Andrew,
You're cute in your overalls.
Oh, thank you. You like? See, she likes my overalls. Tom, he said I look like a ridiculous looking doll. He clowned
I didn't
me.
say
and
ridiculous.
with
I
his
just said you look like a doll.
And with his eyes, I could see he wanted to push me down and start kicking my ribs.
I did almost dress him like a doll in his overalls, like, over the weekend. I was like, wear this shirt with it, and he said that he would look like a Cabbage Patch doll with them.
I look like a Cabbage Patch doll now. When a man of my height wears overalls, you become one with the cabbage.
You needed to wear Timberlands with it, and then you'd be Cabbage
I know.
Patch
If I had
doll.
Timberlands with it, I'd get a fancy third name like Cabbage Patches do. I'd be like Jonathan Kensington Whispers would be like my cabbage name.
So Andrea, what are you doing right now?
Hey,
Whoa.
whoa! What the F?
What you wearing?
I just cut off my third hour-long meeting of the day, so about to take a lunch break. Walk upstairs, get some salad.
I do not miss corporate meetings.
No.
Never once have I left a corporate meeting and said, we got something accomplished there. Like it was always like, well, that was a waste of time, and then nonstop for to the end of time of all meetings.
I feel like I got some stuff accomplished today.
Yeah.
I ran the first meeting. The second one, I learned some stuff, and the third one was kind of like a catch-up. So.
Are you wearing clothing while you do this at all? Are you leaving the camera on, or no?
Yeah, the camera's on.
Do you guys have to? Do you guys have to run your camera?
Are we?
Depends on what meeting it is.
Gotcha.
I was about to say, are we still on the Zoom and that we're doing because I feel like I've had some client meetings that they wanted to go Zoom. They're like, oh, here's a Zoom link. Here's the
It's
Google
opened
meeting.
it up now. Now people are like, well, if we have Zoom, let's just do Zoom. I want to see your uncomfortable facial expressions.
But there's no extra benefit that seeing
You can tell if somebody's
client's
lying.
face.
Or paying attention.
Yeah, you can tell if they really like the idea. If you're like, hey, and we're going to do this for your big Tom and Dan event, and they're like, oh, they're shaking their head. You can hear them whispering, talking to their cohorts.
Well, they know they're on camera, so they're. I feel like acting like they, you could look at them. Is there any extra benefit to the face-to-face Zoom meeting? I haven't seen in
possibly clearer audio
in our business meetings.
Okay. We have meetings with like 50 people, and we had one leader that made you turn on your camera so they knew you were actually there and not and kind of paying attention, rather than. Because they weren't chiming in. Not everybody chimes in, so it's not like you have to be engaged in it. But the one leader wanted to make sure everybody was at least there.
That makes sense. So it's just basically a way for them to check that you're in the room.
Count.
This is called everybody better be at the company Christmas party or you're fired.
Send a group email and call it a day.
But it's like when I've had sales meetings and stuff and event meetings and through Zoom, and then I'm like, well, we could have done all that over the phone.
Yeah.
And there was not.
Probably could have done it via email.
No, I get that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I needed to talk to them, but it was like, we could have just done phone. We didn't have to set up the cameras and we'd look at each other.
I'm telling
no
you,
extra benefit to
people
that.
have been doing it so much now that it will take over. It is the people are using FaceTime more than they have because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Even I have. Even Andrea and I will naturally, I think I've fallen into, and I'm trying to fight it. I'll go back to text message or just not answering my phone at all.
See, I get mad if Crystal FaceTimes me.
I get mad too.
I'm just like, God, why? Just call me.
I'm trying to avoid looking at your face.
No, it's just because then she FaceTimed me, and now I can't just get on my Bluetooth and talk. I have to position the FaceTime on the dashboard while I'm driving or whatever.
I'm not driving, but Andrea will do it. She'll be at the grocery store. It'll be a bad connection. She'll be like, do you want these noodles, or these noodles? I'm like, I can't see nothing. Just get all of them.
Anyway.
You're breaking up.
All right, Andrea. Thanks for giving us a call.
You're welcome. I just had to set you guys straight.
Yeah. No, I understand.
I said the same thing, and Tom argued with me, and then now Andrew says it. He's like, oh, yeah.
No, don't let
Still, my point was with the more expensive vehicles. You start
don't
getting
let these Whisker biscuits push you around.
We're starting a new band called the Whisker Biscuits.
You start getting the cheap things that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I agree with you. The cheap stuff people do have for sale that they don't want. I'm not going to list something for $50 on Facebook Marketplace. I'd rather give it to a friend or a BDM. You know what I'm saying? But
especially if it's garbage. I love giving my garbage to friends.
If I'm selling an $8,000 car, I assume putting it on the internet is going to get me the most amount of money, right?
What's your threshold, though? Because the trailer we have is probably an $800 or $900 trailer. So what's your threshold? If it's over $1,000, do you think it's ridiculous?
No.
To hold on to it, or?
I think over $250. I'll post.
About
you know
right.
what I'm saying? For $100 or less, I'm not going to go through the pain in the ass of listing it and going through a bunch of people and meeting them at my house and something like that. But for an $800 trailer, you should open it up to the highest, the biggest market. So I mean, $800 is a good amount of money still. I mean, I don't know how rich you guys are.
No, we're not. We're not. She's got me on. I'm so locked down now.
Oh, yeah,
I buy with. I just.
You can have $800 to put the trailer. It takes 2 seconds.
No, she won't let me do it.
Daniel, if you sell that trailer, you can have that money.
There you go. Dude, I'm telling you,
I'll do it.
$800 you put on. I mean, that trailer. you could probably do $650 and have 10 emails and then get it sold by the end of in an hour. Like, that's how it works, and then have $650 in your pocket.
What size is that trailer? You would know better than
12
I would.
foot.
It's a 12 foot.
You got to get with my dad. You got to get with
Okay,
my dad.
I love you.
Love you.
All
Bye.
right, biscuits. All right, get out of here.
Bye.
Okay, bye. There you go. God, I can't believe you guys had never heard of Whisker biscuits before.
No. I mean, that it sounds
Sounds
like
like something they say on Yellowstone.
Yeah, or even like some old.
Or maybe I'm
gross-
wrong. Look that up. Look up Whisker biscuit. I thought it was the downstairs.
Never heard of it. Like, I never heard
Really?
someone say that. Maybe like some corny old man.
It's
at
like an
one
old
point.
dad joke. Like female cop, Peach Fuzz. You never heard of that?
Yeah. I've heard of Peach Fuzz.
You heard Peach Fuzz, female
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have.
cop? I put it in the same category. It's disrespectful and just...
In Urban Dictionary, yes, it is slang for that. It says with 1 to 2 days worth of stubble.
Yeah. Where you get cheek burns.
All right.
Gross.
What do you mean, girl? What are you, DJ Khaled?
All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hello.
It smells like chicken fries in here. My
Yes.
God, it smells like Burger King in here.
Yeah. Are you guys gonna eat it on the air?
Yeah.
yeah, I've already dipped in.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
put it out into the universe. We want to be the official podcast of Burger King. I'm gonna put that out.
Hey,
there.
I would love to get sponsored by Burger King.
yeah,
for sure.
we want to get sponsored by Burger King.
I'm the only person in this room that was sponsored by Burger King. I don't know if you
Whoa.
remember.
Excuse me?
I had
yeah.
one time.
What was your
Yeah,
product of
this-
choice?
this
Was it
guy.
chicken fry?
Is it Oreo
No,
Cakesters
no,
at
no.
Burger King?
I was promoting
They're King deals.
The King deal. Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
forgot what
The
it was.
one that you couldn't get when you went to the one
I was
by
like,
our
I was
house.
promoting some sort of deal.
I'm doing it again. Hold on. I have to use my memory. My memory is a giant pile of Cal S, and it only has just dumb stuff. Just dumb stuff. Yeah, the King deals.
Go ahead, tell your story about how you went to the one Burger King that didn't have King deals there.
Well, not everybody's heard the story, EJ. Just because you listen to this stinky show every day
gonna
doesn't
try
mean
a
they all do.
My memory's probably
That's
better than
not
yours.
bad.
So they had the corporate meeting. The only Burger
God
King.
damn it.
And I went there and I was like, oh, they're all the executives and the marketing president, they flew into town. Like, I'm going to order the King deal because that's what I've been reading.
I'm
Right.
a king.
And then I'm like, I want the
King
King of Del Tota.
I want the Wednesday King deal, which was like two. They used to have like an actual King sandwich or something, or like
Yeah,
what's it called?
BK King.
The BK
Still
King. I was
there,
like,
yeah.
2 BK Kings for $5. That was the King deal for Wednesday, and they're like, I'm sorry, so we don't do that.
My manager
Why'd
just
you
told me we
choose?
did not have the King deal.
Hold on. Then what made me more mad is they had the King deals next to the radio station. Right there. I had to drive the International Drive for what? To meet at
That's
the
why I
Burger
brought it
King.
up because I knew it would make me laugh.
That doesn't. We were all there. Us, Roomba, the girl from Roomba, XL, like all 7 radio stations.
Girl from Roomba.
Like we
Not
were-
named. Just
I
some
don't know
random
anybody's
woman.
name. I don't know anybody's name that works there. I just we're all there.
She probably was a woman and you called her a girl. That's also good
No,
too.
all I'm saying is
Where's
why?
our King deals? Me and this girl are pissed.
Why'd you choose the Burger King that didn't even do the thing that all the radio personalities that you invited there doesn't even participate with? Anyway,
You know they're bringing Cakesters back.
I saw
Yeah,
that.
I think they're already back.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my wife said that wearing these overalls, she saw a couple of Cakesters walking around the house. If you know what I mean.
The golden ones are peanut butter.
Ooh, I want a peanut butter one.
No,
They
that's
don't
not-
have peanut butter one. This guy's so stupid. He didn't ask for Cakesters. He said they were peanut butter.
Nah.
They're not. They're vanilla. They're just vanilla.
Gross.
I'm glad I
That's
did
a
that.
copy wrong.
Yeah,
Which is the
no,
best.
nothing matters. Nothing matters. Like even that, they are giant billion-dollar corporation.
Yeah.
I'm just reading the wrong and they still paid me.
All right,
no,
did we-
no one complained. No one said anything.
All right, let's do his
So
bad.
next
All right,
week
fine.
on Nerd Jock, we'll try the Cakesters. We tried the chicken fries.
They're disgusting. When I was
Wait a minute.
I don't know. Come to think of it, these
I
chicken
never
fries
had
are pretty
one.
disgusting.
By the
too.
way, I never had one through the like 3/4 of the whole promotion.
They were sold out every time we went
They
there.
were like, oh, by the way, I would go and do. Oh, this is,
were they,
they
sold
paid
out or
for-
did they not have the product on
Probably
premises?
didn't have it. It was the one on Holden, right?
If they paid for me to go to a goddamn 7-Eleven, and the 7-Eleven had no idea, one, what was going on. We show up there. I'm getting $300. The promo person, which was Dustin, he gets, I think it was $75.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Because it was later on. They used to
$75.
get, that was in your old days. They used to do
when I was there, it was like $50.
But we show up there. The 7-Eleven's like, I don't know anything about this. And we're like, oh, we'll just set up in the parking lot. They're like, okay. They set up there. We're like promoting, or we're not even doing anything. We're just sitting there from getting paid $300.
Come meet the man who hasn't had Cakesters.
I got a good story about this. I brought my mom and I said, come meet this radio clown.
I brought Grift and Jess. And then Tom asked me to buy him a Mountain Dew.
That's how.
Because he said the Cakesters were too dry.
Who would have known that you...
I was vetting you.
You made...
what is it called?
You made most grooming. You made most...
Oh, no.
I was grooming.
That's why I'm not going to that We Were Young.
You made most
I would look like a groomer there.
Look, you made both, like 2 of your top tier relationships were built on the back of Cakesters. Samantha Haar, our producer.
No, mine was bringing
Enos
porno to the station because I won on the Hideout. I won like $600 from Premier Adult Factory Outlet, and I brought in the Pirates porno, and I remember you guys stole it from them.
Oh, we did?
Oh, yeah.
We stole it from the Hideout? I don't remember stealing it from them. But
No.
I
I brought it in for Tom. I was like, here.
Oh.
I was kind of trying to do like he did, bring porn to you guys. So I was
And it
bringing
worked.
porn to Tom, and it worked.
If you bring porno, I don't know how nowadays. I don't even know whatever you
NFT
gave it to
porn?
me. I'm like, I can't do anything with this.
Yeah, a DVD.
No, if you brought me if you send me your browser's password, we'll work something out.
No, we need the password for the virtual reality
VR
porn.
bangers.
Yeah. Someone send us the VR bangers password.
You can take over my bit.
I was trying to convince Daniel to get the lifetime.
No.
There's a lifetime $150 member.
I have a story about that. It's $250. It's $250. It's not $150.
Yeah.
I
It's a
went
business
there.
expense.
I went there in the VR a couple of nights ago, or over the weekend. I went to VR Bangers, and I was standing on the edge of hitting, in my mind, what is a ginormous Visa card button that I have to hit. Because you're in the thing when you order it.
Yeah.
And I just can't justify jumping up there and slamming the Visa button.
lifetime porn.
For $250. Because if Andrea sees that on there, because the Oculus, it basically gives you a rundown of
sends you an email
everything.
for
No,
sure.
it says everything you've done. I bought a game.
Oh, no.
I bought a game on the Oculus. This is how crafty Andrea's gotten because of my addiction to digital planes and all this garbage that I've done that I've talked about. I ordered a game where it's just basically Google Earth on the VR on the Oculus, where you can just go anywhere and look around. It instantly beamed her phone, and she's like, "Oh yeah, so what is GoTrack.com?" I'm like, "Oh, there's no way I can't do it. It's got to be on your account. Your wife doesn't care."
There's not incognito mode for that?
No, not that I can find. If you know of an incognito Oculus mode, let me know. I'll use it.
For sure.
Just put in the business credit card. That's a way to hide it from your wife. Anyway, all right, let's do it.
All right. Did we already play the intro? Or
No, but you can skip it if you want.
Well, we haven't even started the show. Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot.
You've been recording this whole time.
Wow.
I thought we were doing the Twitch.
Jock, nerd.
It's Nerd Jock with EJ. This is all running together for me. Like when we start doing the Twitch and start talking to him, and then I forget when we actually
You got into the King deal.
the
You couldn't
Cakesters,
stop
yeah.
talking about it.
That's why I tried to cut you off and like cut your story short, but
Gotta
you did
be
it
careful.
anyways.
You gotta
Never
know when
cut
you're
me
on a
off.
hot mic, gum old man. You can't be
You
saying
dumb
things.
SOB.
that doesn't exist. All right, DJ, what do we got here?
You know, let's start off with the NFL because that was fun to watch this weekend,
God, it
which was
was.
the best weekend. Like it was the fewest points between a divisional round, like point differential between teams.
So fun.
Ever.
Like, those games were so good.
All 3 games were field goals and 1 was a touchdown because it went to overtime.
It's the only time in recent history I can remember me and my wife watching game beginning to end every game, like except for the last one I started falling asleep.
No, I that was intense for the last
But
like
she woke
minute
me up
and a
and
half.
told me what was happening. But yeah, it was awesome. So.
Now, it just goes to show you, though, that people remember the last game more. It's like, the beginning and end. It's because technically, besides from the end of that Rams-Bucks game, it was pretty boring for the first
I'll disagree.
3 quarters.
I thought it was an insane game the whole time.
Well, the Rams are blowing the Bucks out. They were
For
up
most of the game,
23 right before half. They would have been up 27-3 if they hadn't fumbled.
If they didn't fumble on the goal line,
so
yeah.
Points-wise, yes, but
Yeah.
the actual action of the game was pretty interesting, I thought.
When it came down to the end, of course, and the Bucs came back, then it was crazy.
Yeah,
but the
Akers fumbles and gives it to him on like the 20 or whatever.
The first 3 quarters almost of the at least a little more than the half was pretty boring because the Bucs couldn't do anything, and it looked like the Rams are just going to blow them out. Which is insane that they came back again and and it set itself up for. And then I was
looked like the Falcons again, 27-3.
That's what I said.
I was like, oh no.
That's what I said. It felt eerie,
Right?
It was weird, and he was doing it. And I'm like, oh, he's doing it.
Even for because I had a $500 bet on the game and some other bets, but I had the Rams +3. At that point, I was willing to push. Just because I wanted the entertainment of the Bucs coming back and winning by 3. Right. I was afraid they were going to come back and score a touchdown and then blow. Then I'd be really mad. But if they came back and just won by 3, I would have been fine with pushing my bets just for the storyline of, oh my God, he did it again. Because really, the storyline is, Brady came back, but really it's Cam Akers fumbling twice and and the Rams, making the mistakes to even put him in that position. Brady did throw some insanely good passes.
He did.
But really, the story is, and then how do you let the Rams, how do you let Cooper Kupp get behind you in that instance?
That was ridiculous. Yeah.
That's Bruce Arians screwing up.
There were two really big ones where Kupp got behind and just like he was
didn't have a safety help.
He was
over
getting
the top.
30 yards, 48 yards. I'm 48
that's
yards.
Matchups. They were setting him up in the slot, so you can't really double team him because then you leave another guy wide open down the field. So, it was a good setup for the Rams.
It really was, and I like Stafford. I thought he looked great.
I'm happy for Stafford.
End,
he
looked really
this.
good commanding everything and doing it the way he should. I thought he was gonna. I always get afraid when you're watching somebody you're not used to. Follow me here. If that had been Brady in Matt Stafford's spot, of course, you don't worry about it, right? You're like, he knows what he's doing. But I just, with the way lately, the last couple of weeks, remember with the Raiders and the not handing the ball back and not letting the ref touch the ball and different things?
For the Cowboys,
Cowboys, that was the Cowboys. And, all these little things, I was like, is he going to do something?
Well, the
he's
Bills
amped up.
Is
he going to do something weird and screw it up? And he didn't. So
I don't know the current odds now, but I know Cooper Kupp was a huge underdog, and it was basically Rodgers and Brady for MVP. But now it seems like, especially with Rodgers in that game, against the 49ers, I think he's out, especially with all the hate he got, especially people are glad to see him out.
Yeah.
And then now Brady, you can say
Brady
something about it because
weird.
There was a comeback. People just didn't want to see Brady again when he won too much. But
I guess, but I think it's unwarranted. I think instantly, as soon as they knew that LA was going to win, people just started lighting that guy up. And I just think that's unfair.
If Cooper Kupp has another good game, he goes to the Super Bowl, and then if they win the Super Bowl,
they got two home games straight if they go to the Super Bowl.
I think,
which is crazy.
Which is it's never happened in the history of time.
Two
before last
Super
year.
Bowls. No home team get home team.
We talked about this
advantage.
at my house, and we're like, what if it's planned?
Maybe. It's possible.
What if it was planned this way?
It can't be planned because there's too many variables to
it's too much
control,
of a conspiracy.
Right?
Yeah, you need way too much to make it happen.
Look who you're talking to.
Yeah, I know.
even if all the refs,
we did go to
it's
the moon.
rigged.
But it's there's millions of people watching and scrutinizing every single thing. It would be too impossible.
There's too much incentive-based contracts to do that. So
you could have let's talk about that. Even if you want in the NFL, they have unlimited control. Let's say they got all the refs in on it, right?
You're talking about WWE style.
And then so all the refs are on your payroll, and they're like, all right, influence this game as much as possible towards the other team.
It's hard to do that in the WWE, let alone doing it in the football. I'm just saying.
There's no guarantee
you could reverse that argument and say they do it in WWE,
and they still mess it up.
Still mess it up.
Like the Royal Rumble where two guys fall at the same time. We're like, I don't know what to do.
Well, and then
even if you know,
if refs make such egregious calls that is so bad, the public will put so much pressure on the NFL. They did it with that one, the first wild
pass interference penalties that for the past 2 years. I think it was 3 years ago. There was a pass interference. Then they did it again the next year. The Saints got screwed. Not going to the Super Bowl by the Rams when Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So anyway, let's go back to these games because they were super exciting.
Oh yeah.
But there was a
Cincinnati beating Tennessee, the number 1 seed, which was huge. I told you, I said take Cincinnati in the first half. I was kind of mad that you didn't do that. I was like, that was a perfect bet for sure.
Okay, well, again, EJ, in retrospect, everything's a perfect bet.
There it is.
What you have no.
I told you that Titans were going to come off cold, coming off the bye they had. So, and plus, I don't think Derrick Henry was healthy. He looked too timid running through those holes.
He didn't look the same.
He didn't look 100%.
Again, how many times have you been right and handicapped?
Almost every time.
No.
Yes, I don't think I've missed that. Yeah.
EJ, you said last week you're like, I'm going all favorites this week, and then no favorite one except for KC. So there was a couple really bad coaching decisions, including Sean McDermott and the Bills deciding to kick.
They should have squibbed.
Yeah, and
run some time off the clock. Don't kick it to Tyreek Hill.
Everybody's talking about this, and
my wife's favorite player in this particular what you're about to reference.
And I've heard like professional bettors talk about this. They're like, whatever an NFL coach is doing, it's the right decision because you don't know. And they're right. It's like, it's true. It's, how are you going to criticize an NFL coach? Like, they have been doing this their entire lives, and so much, like, we're just going to sit back and be qualified. I know better than you. So I 100% agree that the NFL coaches, they are making the best possible decision based on their experience and in-game and everything.
Using analytics as well.
And everything. Yeah. And the coaches are starting to use more analytics.
Yeah, but just based on what I've gathered, just playing Madden, I thought this was weird.
So,
you see what I'm saying?
Squib it and drain like 5 or 6 seconds off the clock.
And then they
only get one play.
Yeah. And
then you have to kick at least a 60-yarder. Butker could still make that 60-yarder, but it's hard to do that. And then it has to be a lower trajectory, more possibility of getting blocked.
Yeah, and so it definitely seems like this was 100% the best possible play to squib kick it, or at least kick it short of the end zone. Whatever you do, don't kick it in the end zone, right?
No.
Just kick it super high and get, and there's the argument, okay, you were afraid of Tyreek Hill, and I'm not sure if he was back there for the kickoff.
I think he was on one side, but you kick away from him, but then if they try to throw it across the field, they're burning even more time off the clock.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, this seems like the best possible, and like the only choice to make, and the only choice not to make is to kick it in the end zone and give them the full 13 seconds.
Plus, the Bills weren't tackling that well in the fourth quarter.
So how does that
happen?
That
was part of the problem, too. So I think that was the reason why he did that, kick it in the end zone. But I disagree with it. I think you still take that chance, and hopefully your kicker makes the tackle.
Because it's not like you have, like, maybe, you had the play clock to make a decision. You had, commercial break.
Coming back 3 minutes at least.
So, like, no one on the sideline, we got to squib kick this, or we have to, whatever we do, and you tell the kicker, like, do not kick it into the end zone. Do not kick it in the touchback.
The problem with squib kicks is they can also go out of bounds, and then they goes to the 35.
Yeah, and then you get penalized.
And then you get even closer, and then you only have to make like a 20-yard pass to get into field goal range.
Okay, well, what about, these kickers are pretty good. I'm pretty sure
But maybe he's not good at getting squibs. That's the thing we don't know.
What about not squibs, just kick it short of the end zone? I think they could do that.
I think
they can all do that on demand.
Well, they should, I would say.
Yeah, kick it 5.
If you're at that level,
kick it between the 10-yard line and the end zone, around there. But whatever you do, don't kick it into the end zone, right? How does that happen?
Yeah, let me ask you guys a layman question that, because what you're talking about makes me, you're saying, how does this happen? With the coach on this. You know what I would like to have is I would like to have a mic up where it's not just the coach. I want to hear everything that happens on that headset and how that workflow operates, because I think that would make me understand how.
Because
I don't understand what they're even doing there. Like, who's saying what to what? What are you doing? What are you having to execute and articulate verbally to make a certain level of things happen to execute the plays correctly?
It just depends on, is your offensive coordinator in the booth? Is he on the field? Is he your defensive coordinator? Is he in the booth or on the field? Is your special teams coach on the booth or in the field? That all comes down to that, because that's why Bruce Arians has that big, like Darth Vader looking set.
EKG,
It looks like the whole joke. And he also he can barely walk.
Yeah,
he's so red.
Why does he waddle?
He's got issues.
I'm heading that way.
In bad shape.
No, I'm heading that way. I'm this show's Bruce. What's his last name? Arians. Arians. I'm him, because you see him, he's standing there, and then he's like me in the fact that if somebody ran past him real fast, he can't turn. He has to turn his whole body. He can't turn his neck. It's weird.
And then he slaps players on the field and gets fined for like $25,000.
Worth it.
Yeah, definitely. He was doing something stupid. I totally agree with the head slap. Like, That's not going to hurt a player. I'm sorry. An old man hitting you in the head with a helmet on, you're not going to get hurt.
Yeah. By the way, they hype themselves up by
smashing their head.
Oh, that's a real thing. He got fined?
Yeah, he got fined for that. Yeah.
It's
from last week,
it's more of the professionalism and the fact that it's like you're not
don't hit your players.
Well, you're not in college
and not
anymore,
celebration,
or like in like Pee Wee football. Like these are grown millionaire.
What do you walk over and shake his hand? Like
no, you yell at him, but I guess slapping him is like now you're
a step too far.
I mean that's a weird way to treat an employee that's made
a mistake.
It's
so I'm gonna put away my slap memo.
Although
I was going to implement some changes around here, but apparently not.
No big deal. Also, no big deal for Bruce Arians to pay $50,000.
Yeah.
So it's all or nothing.
Does he even pay that?
Yes.
No, I'm just saying.
Oh,
or does
probably the
Tampa
organization
have a
probably
big,
pays
fat
for it. Yeah.
coffer, and then they're like, "Here, take this."
Yeah.
We like the slap.
They
secretly.
It's like everything. They'll appeal it.
If I were the owner,
he'll
I would
pay
do
it to 5 years down the line. You know, like everything else. Like you just go through the process. You have lawyers.
All right, we better keep moving.
Okay. Did Sam send you that video of the hockey game? Which is I love these things. These are it's a feel good story. So the Hershey Bears, which is an AHL team, which is like the Washington Capitals affiliate from the NHL. They have a teddy bear contest where you bring as many teddy bears as you want to the thing, and whenever they score the first goal, everyone throws bears onto the ice.
Okay, you ready? Here we go. This is called Sweet and Cuddly Mayhem.
And then
here comes the bears.
So many bears.
They've done this for a while.
They did it in 2019. They haven't done it for the past 2 years because of the COVID thing, and they sent 52,341 teddy bears onto the ice.
You know what's...
it was a 30-minute game break that they had to do.
You know what I like about this? I like that the fact that kids don't want teddy bears.
Yeah.
And the best... And here's another thing.
And also get wet,
thank you.
moldy ones.
Oh, what's even worse is the hockey players start jumping onto them.
Yeah, here's the thing.
So many
here's what I like. I like that kids hate teddy bears now. Like, my daughter has tons of stuffies, but they're literally they're nothing but kindling for a house fire to burn her alive.
Yes.
Like, they're not necessary. She doesn't play with them. They've never been
pile up in the corner.
Kids hate teddy bears. They also, what makes it worse, wet teddy bear. Who wants a wet teddy bear?
Yeah. You know what really poor kids want? Nintendo.
Yes.
They don't, no poor kid is like, all I want is a teddy bear.
Yeah,
like, it's never happened.
Something.
Right?
Even when a kid goes, God, I got no toys, just give me something. You hand them a teddy bear, they're like, well, something other than a teddy bear.
There's no demand for this.
No.
Seriously. In fact, that there's a reason why in toy drives they ask you to bring a toy that's
do not bring teddy bears.
Wrapped or like in the package because they don't want just the loose stuffed animals and stuff like that.
They say like unwrapped toy typically because they don't they want to size up what garbage you're bringing because you're bringing some garbage that your kid had and it's got Cheetos all over it.
Yeah.
So the team is just doing this for a marketing promotion, like the marketing.
We're gonna do this with BDMs. We're gonna have all the BDMs throw teddy bears on a basketball court so people think we're good people.
Well, it's the only thing that they could tell people to throw that's not going to hurt. Because if they anything else, like it could hurt someone else, they'd be sued. So it's like they do teddy bears, but there's no demand for teddy bears.
Right.
For what I'm saying. So it's all for nothing.
Well, no.
I mean, they donate them, but
you know what they could have done? What about shoes? A pair of Nikes. What about socks? Socks makes more sense to me than stupid teddy bears.
Most asked for things at homeless shelters and stuff like that.
Blanket. Throw a blanket out there. It's better than a teddy bear.
Socks in a package would have been
better,
more beneficial to the community that they were donating this to. All these teddy bears, again. There's not a huge demand for teddy bears. Now, they'll donate them, and they'll end up in, wherever, and people get them out. And
homeless people start wearing teddy bears for socks. You see a bunch of people walking around with teddy bears on their feet.
It's just, they need something. Socks is a good idea. It's just, it doesn't have the same visual.
No.
Because all the different size and style teddy bears is what lends itself to
You could throw socks out there. You could throw stained overcoats. You could throw dog goggles, or doggles as they're called. Blankets.
Overalls.
Yeah, cardboard. They love cardboard. There's some cardboard out there.
So, they, these kind of promotions.
For a split second, I thought you were going to say D's nuts. I'm glad you did.
Next story.
Okay, the last one I have for Jock is the Hall of Fame is supposed to be today for baseball. and they're debating on who should get in and who shouldn't get in. I know you talked to the cigar guy a lot about baseball. You should ask these questions about this guy.
His name is Chris.
I can't remember his name. I'm sorry.
Wow, that's disrespectful. Write that down.
EJ disrespectful.
Disrespectful to Chris.
I brought you guys
Gwaltney.
chicken fries. Sorry.
You did bring us chicken fries. And we
but like,
appreciate
okay,
it.
like A-Rod's on the ballot. So is Ortiz and Clemens and Schilling and Bonds. And Bonds is the biggest question. Does he get in? Even though, with the PEDs and stuff like that.
Get him in. It's all part of the story now.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it. Just put him in there.
But they always talk about that stuff.
You don't need to put an asterisk or anything. Just let it be what it is. It's we all know the story.
Yeah, it's all history anyway.
Yeah, you don't need to put an asterisk. But people are going to forget and be like, Barry Bonds. I got nothing.
Played for the
I think he's
Pirates.
good. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah. I don't think
he played for the Pirates and he got a huge because you got other people in there like Ty Cobb who's like was a racist and you got other people like that in there. So like.
Then you're going to have to go back through and you're going to have to grade everybody based on what I think the moral compass is pointing at the time, maybe, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's up in the air.
Or just don't do a Hall of Fame, and whoever's playing right now who's doing the best, that's the best.
Yeah.
Also, it seems like sports records are they are different based on the time that you play.
You know, why don't you go ahead and get a chicken fry. That might help.
that might clear it up.
I know. All I got to do is stop drinking any.
The fries have so
fries,
much.
They'll dry out all that phlegm in there.
You grease up your uvula with a chicken fry.
Because, like, how the hell are you going to, like, measure someone from the 70s compared to today? Or whatever the hell, like, different time periods and stuff, where the...
Bell-bottoms.
the records are seemingly meaningless because it's so different each decade you played that it's like, all right, well, I mean, who the hell's going to argue that, what's his name, Babe Ruth...
Well, they used amphetamines back in the day too, so everyone used performance-enhancing drugs.
Babe Ruth,
so it just depends on who you're talking about.
Was he a drunk?
And what year? I thought so.
I mean, all of them.
All of them were smoking on the sidelines and dipping, and oh god.
How would Babe Ruth do against pitchers in 2022?
Oh, he gets
smoked for sure.
So then, like, what does it mean?
To the base, he's so fat.
Yeah, he used to like run a taxi company to drive him to first base whenever he
honest.
walked.
I don't think I'm gonna be making anybody mad right now. If we had a physical representation of Babe Ruth in here just wearing boxer shorts, he's a big fat tub of crap, right?
Yeah. Well, most baseball players can be that.
But he was like a big dude. That's why I called him Babe, right? Because he was smooth like a baby or something.
No,
I'm not going to comment on that.
I think that might.
Wrong for
I think that might be right.
I understand he's the best for that time period, and like if people looked at it just like that, are like, all right, he was good for that time period, and based on everything.
Well, the Wright brothers were the best pilots at one time.
yeah.
That's a stupid idea.
But what is the record like meaning now, right? Where it's like, okay, what does that even mean? I can't even gauge how good that is, right? Because who was his competition? And that's with every record.
Yeah.
It's like when the long enough time frame, I don't even know what that achievement actually means.
Yeah, like the 72 Dolphins would get stumped for sure.
Yeah.
Learning some history about Babe Ruth. He was born in Pigtown.
Well, there you go. Anybody born in Pigtown is fat, right? I'm sorry. That's just, I think that's laws, the state laws.
He was just like a an ordinary dude that was good at like he didn't.
I always thought he was a heavier set gentleman.
He was but I'm saying like he didn't train. Now it's so much.
I'm
different.
picturing a Jackie Gleason style body.
I think of John Goodman. Didn't he play him in the movies?
He may have. But see, John Goodman now is real melted.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you going to compare Patrick Mahomes and nowadays where you can't even tackle the quarterback to
like Joe Namath or something like that?
Joe Namath.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to kiss you.
How?
I'll never forget Joe Namath doing on the sideline.
You watch it, it's still uncomfortable.
He'll never remember his Broadway Joe. He'll always be that guy that tried to kiss the reporter on the sidelines.
So it's, you can't even make the comparison. So then it's like, all right, well, the like Hall of Fame and like,
well, yeah. I think you got to do by comparison. I agree with you. You do by comparison on the era they were in.
Oh my God, so much Babe Ruth misinformation. Someone in the chat room, I'm not even going to say your name. Somebody in the chat room said, do I remember hearing that Babe Ruth was half black, or is that a memory from True Romance? I know
Don't listen to Chigari.
I know the scene you're talking about with Drexel and
I think I know what he's talking
Romance.
about. Yeah.
Babe Ruth.
Clarence Worley.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a black guy's name. Yeah. I remember that scene.
Okay, should we go over to nerd stuff now? Okay,
keep going.
Okay, let's talk about food since we were talking about that. Little Caesars is doing a Batman tie-in. and they're doing a Batman calzone. Have you seen the picture of this thing yet?
I like Little Caesars.
I like
I'm the
Little
trashiest on the show.
Okay, here's a question.
My daughter loves Little Caesars because she's a junior trash gal.
Do you have the app?
The Little Caesars app? Are you crazy? Absolutely. I do.
Okay, that's the only way you can order this pizza.
Yeah.
You can only order this calzone, Batman calzone. It's shaped like the Batman symbol.
That's dope.
And it's ridiculous. You got to pull it up to see the picture because I don't think they get the idea of it. And what it is, you can only order on the app all the time, but you can order it from 4 to 8 off that line. That's the only time they'll make it.
Between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m.?
4 p.m. 8 p.m.
Why?
I guess,
What's the significance?
I don't know. I think because Batman works nights. I guess.
That's not even night. That's mid-afternoon.
But that's what the calzone looks like right there.
They probably...
That's pretty dope. It's basically a pizza in the center.
And they folded this
and
top
then they fold
part.
the sides and they stuff the julienne pepperoni on the side. I'm down. I'm down with this.
It'll be interesting to try at least once.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm always
Maybe I'll bring
curious
that next week.
with these promotions, like who is paying who? You know what I'm saying?
Paying who?
Like, and how much, and like what, and how much of it is a trade for promotion? Like, same thing with like McDonald's and stuff. Like when
Who's got Encanto? Who's got the Encanto toys right now? There's your winner right now, right?
Usually
McDonald's?
McDonald's has
Yeah.
the Disney.
But I thought
stuff.
McDonald's swore away the plastic toys.
Then there might not be any.
It's all like paper stuff now.
Yeah, they said they were going to stop doing it because they're the problem. They're the reason we have an island made of keyboards in the middle of the ocean is all their plastic Moana toys.
But it's like, does the Batman franchise, because this is good.
Oh,
I mean,
2021 Encanto McDonald's Disney Happy Meal toys.
They lied. They lied.
so it's like, so Disney is paying McDonald's for the promotion, or vice versa, because people would go to McDonald's for
I think
the
we
Encanto.
had the same argument with this with Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
it was
know.
back and forth. I don't know. It's one of those scenarios where I think
it's not clear to me.
No.
because
who
McDonald's
needs who in that scenario.
and maybe it's just a trade, and maybe Disney's like, oh, we'll produce the toys, and if you
I
give
would
them out,
assume
I don't know.
that McDonald's pays for that.
Yeah.
But then, like, it's good promotion for Encanto and the movie, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
But some people that might not normally eat McDonald's will go and buy that Happy Meal just because they like the movie.
I'm learning so much in the chat room today. Somebody in the chat room told me.
Don't listen.
True, but
they told me Chick-fil-A, if you don't want the toy, you can give them back the
That
little
is true.
God book and they'll give you an ice cream
That
cone.
is accurate, yeah.
But
I did not know that.
but
I'll be
McDonald's
trading my daughter's books.
would be like, hey, we serve 1 billion people a year, and we're giving this Encanto promotion and all Happy Meals, so that's a huge promotion for you. So, like, I don't know which one was paying here. Like,
There has to be a way to look it up, though.
yeah.
It has
And
to
so
be like
for Batman, like, who is paying this? Like, DC?
I think Batman is. I think the franchise, the studio is paying for this. Like Warner Brothers is paying for them to make the pizza.
Well, the price point's awesome because
it's only $8.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's $7.99 for that thing.
It's got
now. Look, it's Little Caesars, and I know what you're thinking, but I actually, if you're going trash pizza, if you're going just bottom of the barrel, hot and ready,
I'm just trying to get something and go. Yeah,
I am definitely okay with.
It's
Little
right across
Caesars.
the street from my kids' karate class.
There are such worse pizzas, such worse.
Yeah, but didn't you guys say the 7-Eleven one was better though?
The 7-Eleven pizza, actually, the one that we tried that day was not bad at all.
I think that's because that was a fresh one.
That was
if you
not
go
bad
into
at
a
all.
7-Eleven
Most of the
now-
time they're not.
Well,
fresh.
That was when it was new,
Now
too.
they sell them
Disgusting.
frozen. I've seen that now,
I've seen
and they'll
that,
just
yeah.
pop one in the. If you got the time and you can sit in your car, they'll pop a fresh one right in the oven for you, and then just.
Don't do that.
No,
If you do
just go to the
that,
store and grab
I'm
your
not,
own.
Look, I'm not saying
I'll look down on you.
Now
Now
I got to do it because
Yeah,
I'm
get one
trashier
and go
than
to
you.
Red Bear.
If you go to 7-Eleven and you get a frozen,
While
be
I'm
like, hey,
pumping gas.
cook this.
Cook this while I pump gas.
No, it takes 20 minutes.
No, they got
No,
that. They
it's
got
like
that
8
rocket
minutes
oven,
probably,
man.
yeah.
8 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a rocket oven in there.
No, still don't do it. You know, I draw a line there.
So I go in, I pay for the pizza and prepay to fill up, pump my gas.
Cheaper at Little Caesars are $5, hot and
Pump my
ready.
gas. I
Yeah.
walk in. Well, maybe I don't want the Batman calzone.
Yeah.
Well, that's different. I mean, like, because how much is a full 7-Eleven pizza? It's more than $5.
I don't know.
About the
I don't
same.
think
I think
so.
yeah,
Yeah, I think
They're
it's
not
like-
that
I think it's
big.
like
It's like
$8 maybe.
$5.99.
I don't know.
I think it's more than $5. I have
Yeah.
no idea, but
Okay, the next story I got for sure we got to talk about.
A large 14-inch 7-Eleven pizza, full pizza.
Yeah, the big one.
$5.50.
I told you, the
Wow.
cheap. The cheap. And
I
this
said
is
more.
and this is the one you raved about. Out of all the people on this show,
Yeah,
you were
you did.
you were diehard 7-Eleven pizza man.
No, I just chose the one I thought wasn't that. I chose poorly.
Why do you get all fancy
You're
when EJ's
lying
around?
to
He
us.
tries to get
You
fancy
lied
when you're
to us.
around.
It's all the
Fine.
same
He's trying
garbage.
to impress
Yeah,
you.
I
He's
think
trying to
so.
impress you.
Well, then you're not going to be impressed with this next story. We got to talk about Louie Anderson dying.
Why?
But only because I want to play the clip for him high diving, which still makes me laugh
That's
to this
mean.
day.
So you're using a celebrity death to play a clip of him high diving?
He would love this, I think. Have you seen the clip where
He personally
What
knew
is-
him.
Yes.
It was
I
probably
knew
an
Mike Hurley,
embarrassing
who
moment
knew
in
him.
his life.
Oh,
That he,
but you got to go to it. Go to the 30-second mark, and
Listen.
it's when he dives, and it's Humpty
he
Dumpty
dies?
Oh my
dives.
God.
I
Go to
don't
the-
know Louie Anderson, but I imagine at one point after this particular show aired, he was drinking wine in his living room and thought to
And
himself,
was mad.
I shouldn't have done that.
You know why? He's
I
counting
look
his
like a fool.
baskets money, and he's
Yeah.
like, why did I do
Why
that
did he do
diving
this? Yeah.
thing?
I
when
think this
could've
got him
just-
the job at baskets, though.
I could have just done an amazing job of acting.
Which he probably, people
Which
take more
he
serious.
is.
Like
Yeah.
this is just, this is the equivalent of wearing a bear suit.
Oh, yeah. For
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's
you're
why
a
I kind of
clown.
bring that up all the time, too.
You ready? You
Yeah,
wanna
go to
see it?
130.
Okay, 130.
Yeah, because Greg Louganis helps him down.
I got to rewatch Life with Louie.
All right.
What
we're-
a good
oh,
tune
there.
it
Oh,
was.
look at how cute he is.
He's so happy
Oh,
there,
my
and
God,
he's like
he's
20
so cute.
feet off the ground.
All right, here we go. We're going in.
This is the worst era of reality show, by the way.
Right?
No, this was I
I think
felt like
I also think he knew what he was doing.
I think he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I think he was
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
it up. But
Oh,
I think that's why
absolutely.
I'm okay with playing
I
this after
felt
he died.
like this show was amazing. Plus, it had that Drake and Josh guy on there who's
Also
now
had
like
Kareem
a sex offender.
Abdul-Jabbar.
He's a sex offender. The guy in the center.
Really?
right?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Look him up, Sam. You'll
What's
put it.
his name?
I don't even know the other people who are.
I
are
don't
those
either.
people?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know any of those people right there.
No
that we're looking
idea.
at.
No
Okay.
idea.
I will give it to
Oh
Louie.
wow!
Who's
Hold
that?
on. Let's watch more of that.
The host.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I think she's the one he's going against.
I will give
Hold
it to
on.
Louie here.
Oh,
Yes. That's the best thing I've ever seen.
That takes some balls.
I like that.
to roll backwards. Yeah.
I gotta do it one more time.
Like-
it's pretty good.
It takes some balls to roll backwards off the top of a high dive.
Yeah,
That's
it's
scary.
It's
I don't think
scary.
I could do that.
I don't think I would either. Crowd loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
He definitely over-rotated that.
I loved it. Fantastic.
Although, like, and
I
again,
had it wrong. I'm glad you brought that in. Thanks.
some like professionals, like, all right, this is how you do a backflip. This is relatively safe as long as you commit. Just roll backwards, and your momentum
Will
will
take it
you'll-
right amount. Yeah.
You know,
You're not going to belly flop.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because there's no way you can do a, he's going to do a standing
No
backflip,
way.
but
No.
rolling, it gets your momentum going that
You don't
way.
think I think he could have done with enough, just based on physics, if he had gotten the.
he wouldn't,
If he was standing, I think he over-rotates.
Yeah, he would over
Oh, yeah.
rotate, but if there were, I think there's a way to do it.
And he just straight up lands on his back.
He could have practiced it
Knock
a
the
little
wind
bit
out of
more. They
yourself.
needed to do it quick, like in a couple of days, right?
yeah,
So they
but
were like,
he's not
we-
practicing. He's like, I'll do this show,
You know
but
what
I'm
I-
not spending a lot of time,
The best part about this, and I think I actually commented on this while it
bathing
was
suit?
live on the air, I liked his camouflage
Yeah.
bathing suit. The fact that they gave him the camo bathing suit. I
Yeah.
like that.
That was like the first episode. This is like near the finale or whatever.
When they gave him a fancier one.
Because like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in it too. Remember, he was really tall and he was diving.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
People forget how many, like Kareem's won like 6 championships, right?
I think he won like
Or
more than
maybe
that.
8
No,
or
maybe it's
something.
Wilt Chamberlain.
No, I think people forget how good Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is, or
Yeah.
was. Like they forget it, like he's not. They never throw him out with like Michael Jordan or
being the
LeBron
GOAT,
or
yeah.
but
In the
he's
GOAT argument, yeah.
awesome. What else you got?
The only thing left, like with these celebrity reality shows, are like the singing, the Masked Singer, and those
Yeah.
kind of things.
Those
Gone
are
are
even
the
fizzing. I think Kim Jong.
the houses and the challenges and all that. These
Yeah.
things, like they've
run their course.
In my opinion, Kim Jong, the comedian, the Dr. Kim Jong, like that guy is
it Ken?
his sister. Ken, yeah, Ken. I'd say Kim.
Yeah.
Great job, Daniel. That's not racist. He's killing a lot of these things by making dumb shows. Like
Yeah.
his dumb I Can See Your Voice show is stupid. All of that stuff. The one, the Masked Singer,
Masked Singer,
stupid.
yeah.
It's all stupid.
But they're
Hey.
all like these C-list and D-list celebrities. They're not willing to make a fool out of themselves as much as because if they would, like, I
Well,
feel
Bob Saget did it.
with what? Well, no. I'm the Masked Singer and those singing competitions. You're not diving off of, you know what I'm saying?
Dive, yeah.
These kind of things, or like they put you in a mud challenge, or like against other people, or some sort of like.
But what about that like mini golf game that
Holy moly? That's
Holy
just
moly,
normal
yeah.
people.
Is normal people? No, they're not doing celebrities yet.
Not yet.
Okay, they will.
Not yet.
They'll bring celebrities on to like do a appearance, but they
do
will
like a
They won't
bit.
get smashed off of the course or anything
No,
like that. Okay.
no doo-doo water for them.
Okay, the last story I got is Peacemaker is the #1 show in the DC Extended Universe according to Rotten Tomatoes. Have you been watching this yet?
Andrea said that because we want to watch something
You can't watch
together,
with kids around.
No. We
Definitely
wouldn't,
can't. There's
but
boobs in it, for
we're-
sure.
We're almost done with Witcher. We're up to date on Righteous Gemstones, so I think it might
Next
go
show, definitely give it a shot. There's only been 4 episodes.
It's funny, right?
It is hilarious. It's Dude Bro Deadpool would be the best description
I don't want
of
that.
it.
Okay.
but the thing is, he's also sensitive, and I don't want to give away too much, but it's really fun. John
That's
Cena.
Deadpool?
Yeah.
Wow, a lot of people are saying they really like it.
It's really good. It's amazing. Like, John Cena does a fantastic job acting in it.
All right.
So
Nice.
who
I'll
was
check it.
the
Everybody's raving about it.
I'm telling you,
out.
it's
So many things
fantastic.
on my
Change
list.
the way you look at John Cena for the
Yes.
good, for the positive.
Well, there was a couple movies that I've seen him in recently that he's gotten better. Like, I think he was there was one where they were like it was like Honeymoon Date or something like that he was in on Netflix.
Oh, right.
He did a good job in that as well. And like he's gotten better and better as he's going along. Like, it's not like he's in Fast and the Furious 9
There
or
is
whatever.
boobs, violence.
Yes, boobs, violence, yes.
Huh. Interesting.
who was
like-
the character of Peacemaker? Like what was it? What is it
Well,
based
it's just
on?
a character that he used in Suicide Squad, and it's James Gunn written and directed, so you know it's going to be good no matter what.
nuts.
Because he did Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, and then now he did Suicide Squad with Idris Elba and all those people, and this is a character. It's a continuation of that, and this show is fantastic.
All right, and
Check it out.
And it's rated R. Like,
It's on HBO Max. Don't watch it with your kids.
And
I'll
I
tell you that
don't-
right now.
And it's not. There's no Thanos. There's no
No
connection. I
Thanos,
don't have to
there's-
watch 50 different Spider-Man.
No. Put it like this: there's Easter eggs for DC fans, but there's not stuff that you need to know. Like, they mentioned Batmite in one of the episodes, which, like, if you're a DC fan, that's huge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not a nothing.
I've heard a lot of good things
Yeah.
about it. And any show that's like puts boobs at, like that's like an 80s thing, right?
Oh yeah,
They don't roll boobs anymore. Boobs are not in.
Yeah.
right?
HBO, boobs everywhere.
boobs everywhere.
I don't know what
Oh,
y'all
yeah.
are
What are
watching.
you watching that's got
Euphoria.
Yeah, Euphoria.
boobs?
yeah,
yeah.
for sure,
Well, Witcher
yeah.
used to have boobs. Not as many boobs.
No,
anymore.
I think the actors
Yellow
made too much money
Jackets, that's
now.
on Showtime though. Boobs.
Yeah.
Boobs everywhere.
All right, good job, EJ.
Thank you. Appreciate it,
We'll
guys.
end with your Super Bowl prediction. What do you think?
Oof. I would say these are the teams I'm hoping for. I hope the Rams make it in, and I want to see. Oh man, out of the AFC, I don't know.
Well, it's only Cincinnati and Kansas City.
I know.
So,
but,
like,
like,
you got two teams
I'd rather
to
see
choose from.
Cincinnati and the Rams. I would like to see that Super Bowl, but more
Cincinnati,
likely
LA?
the more likely it's going to be the other way around. It's going to be Kansas City and.
And the Rams.
And then who do you see winning? If it's Kansas City Rams.
You know what? Joe Burrow's has been slinging. If his offensive line improves just a little bit, I could see Cincinnati win the Super Bowl.
Well, Cincinnati beat Kansas City earlier on this
Yeah,
year.
they did.
But that was when Kansas City was
And
playing.
then is Tyler
off.
Matthew still hurt? Because I know he had a bad concussion. Like when he was walking into the ramp, he looked bad. I felt bad for him.
He'll be back out there. They'll just pass
It's
the
a Super Bowl,
protocol.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You just
I mean,
move the goalpost
for
and
this-
get him out there.
for this playoff game, but I mean, I was gonna say a Cincinnati Rams, just because that would be a shocker.
Yeah.
I don't think 49ers beat the Rams, although they had
Yeah.
Twice.
yeah, and
Right?
It's possible.
I think they beat
put
him
it like
twice
this.
this year, didn't they?
Both teams are hot right now,
Yeah,
so
but-
it's possible.
That was a hard game for 49ers, and Deebo Samuel was limping, and there was they were
Yeah.
banged up. So it's like, man, that many games on the road. Although
Yeah.
they're gonna have a big, fan base at SoFi.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, they were saying that they were only selling tickets to people in that area code in LA, not to San Francisco.
Yeah, but they'll get around that.
They'll
there'll
find
be
a way around it,
There'll
yeah.
be a good amount of San Francisco fans. So
Yeah.
anyway, it's gonna be a good.
It's going to be good. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Mike
Yeah.
on March 26th. Yeah, there we go.
All right, bye.
Bye bye.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
Our guest today, Aaron from the Orange County Library System, is on Zoom with us. How you doing, Aaron?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for stopping by. You have no choice, though. It's via Zoom. So, I mean, you're here no matter what.
And we will, full transparency, we were going to do this interview last week.
What happened?
And Sam was on our anniversary vacation.
Whoa, you said Sam was on our anniversry vacation?
I'm sorry, her. And me and Daniel were literally that day saying like, hey, we did it. We did it all, no problem.
This is what I wanted you to hear live on the air. We were actually sitting here.
Oh, you're patting yourselves on the back?
Yeah. We didn't make nothing. We don't need Sam.
While we were... Yeah, patting ourselves
actively firing.
While I was talking about how, we're the two best hosts, we can do it all, none better. We waste nobody's time. We had a banner week. We look up at the clock, and while we were talking that 15 minutes of just giving ourselves love, we had missed our interview. So that's how stupid we are.
So sorry again, Aaron.
That's okay. I had 15 minutes more to look at TikTok videos.
Hey, that's what he does. What's your favorite thing on TikTok? Lately, I've really been enjoying, I like the bread challenges. Have you seen the bread challenges?
I have not. Tell me. I want to know.
We don't have enough time for it. Look up bread challenges.
I like when the person dances and then points and then words come up. She's like, then it's always about like something personal that I don't really care about. She's like, 39, divorced, looking to party. I'm like, all right. I'm like, I don't know you. I don't really care. But for some reason, I'm watching it. I'm like, what is this?
You're on divorce talk. Okay, interesting.
No. It just happens like we're
45. Where they probably gonna get a divorce because he's on TikTok. Missed an interview with OCLS.
So, Aaron, tell us what's going on at the Orange County Library System.
Well, one thing I wanted to share with you is that the Zora Festival in Eatonville was canceled, but the library had a bunch of Zora, Neil Hurston events that were scheduled that are still going on, and we're trying to make sure people know they can still attend our events. We've got a really, really great speaker. Her name is Ray Chesney, and she's a Zora Neale Hurston scholar, and she's going to be doing a virtual event on Thursday about introducing Zora Neale Hurston, and then Friday and Saturday she'll be doing in-person events, including a walking tour of Eatonville, pointing out some highlights of places that Zora Neale Hurston was inspired by, that you might read about in her books. Because Zora spent a chunk of her childhood growing up in Eatonville after she moved from Alabama. So we hope that people will tune into Zoom and watch the virtual event and come to the library on Friday and Saturday and check out the in-person events. Because I think it's going to be really good stuff.
If you are a historian, or if you're like Andrea's grandfather who's coming up on 97 years of age and you're obsessed with Florida history or Orlando history or around this area, the Zora stuff, Andrea used to go out and work a lot of the Zora events when she was working for like IKEA and stuff like that. Yeah. And they're really cool. Like it's neat. And that you guys have some that are virtual that people can pop in. Even better. And it's good to get the word out for a lot of those things, because as things get canceled, other events, words do not go out, and then people don't know the things that aren't canceled. So
right, exactly. So that's something I really want to try and make sure people are aware of. So because again, it's going to be really cool stuff. There's some virtual, there's some in person. And a lot of people don't know a ton about Eatonville. It's a really cool little town. There's interesting stuff. Like, we don't have a lot of history to, still like intact, but there are pieces of Eatonville that are just, not that different than they were 50, 60, 80 years ago. So
yeah. And if you're listening to this and you want the links, Samantha is dropping them in our Twitch chat room. So you can find out about Zora events on ocls.info.
I feel like we're jaded by history here in Orlando because there's so many places that are like tourist related that somehow that we get jaded by that. For instance, like you drive down, Kissimmee, like 150, 192, sorry. And then it's just like a never ending amount of $5 or 5 for 10 t-shirts,
souvenir shops,
and just stuff that like you're
for
like
tourists, not for locals.
No one cares when this was built. No one cares if it's never here again.
Although the one that stands out is the Wizard. There is a wizard.
What's the history of the wizard?
I want to know the history of the concrete wizard in Kissimmee.
But it's like, so then we forget, like, a place like Eatonville that has so much history behind it that we look past because I think we're jaded by the pop-up tourism places that are so prevalent here.
And you wouldn't know that you would be able to go and learn about, these type of things.
I mean, we've been doing like history tours for our Halloween specials for 7 years now, and it's just basically old Orlando history. It's super interesting, and I feel like no one talks about it that often because we are a transit city too. Like that doesn't, people are not like diving into the history of Orlando, but there's a lot there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I want to say, like, there's some weird, cool stuff in Kissimmee too. Like the little downtown strip is kind of old Florida-y, and St. Cloud has like this strangely cute downtown area that who knew? I drove down there kind of just by chance one day and was like, where am I?
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're lucky that we're lucky that we get the city, but with all these little, almost like little towns and areas within it that can even have their own unique and very cool history of their own. It's like Eatonville especially. I mean, predominantly black community, one of the oldest, if not the oldest in
the first all-black city to be incorporated in Florida.
To be incorporated. I mean, like that is like some legendary stuff. So going through there and checking it out, people in the chat room are mentioning that maybe Zora's house is still standing in Eatonville. That would, if you could check that out. I mean,
and that walking tour that's taking place, I'm sure Ray will be taking people past those spots. So if you want to learn about it, we got someone who is an expert who is going to talk all about that kind of thing.
Beautiful.
Aaron, tell us about this new service you got, Press Reader.
Yes. So if you ever fly JetBlue and you have those little TV screens on your seat and it lets you read magazines and newspapers and stuff while you're in flight, well, the library now has that same thing. It's called Press Reader. It's an app you download to your phone. You log into it using your library card info, and you have access to all sorts of magazines and newspapers, full color, flip book. You can look at the pictures and the illustrations. A lot of online reading, you kind of miss that kind of magazine feel, but this gives you the whole experience. And it's so cool. Like I use it all the time now. I download magazines to my phone and you can keep them for as long as you want. So it's not like you check them out, they expire and they go back to the library. Sure. You can just keep them for months. And I'm reading New York Magazine and LA Times now. And
a lot of that
Cosmo
stuff
is on there, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, it's cool that and this doesn't cost me anything if I have an Orange County library card.
It is free for library card holders.
Now, I will say, I'm not throwing any shade at other people that might provide a service very similar to this, but let's just say the fruit company that makes phones wants you to subscribe to something very similar for like $39 a year or $70 a year, so you get all the same magazines that you can get through the library system for free with your card.
And you don't have to return it.
Right. So I'm just pointing it out that I didn't know this. Well, actually, I did because my wife told me about it, and then she chastised me for subscribing to the thing that I did with the fruit phone company. So there you go.
Aaron, that's Daniel brings up a good point. How many people are have an Orange County library card, but also
don't know what it does?
Pay for all the stuff that you guys offer for free? I'm sure a lot of people
it makes me crazy.
Yeah, like audiobooks, like people have a subscription to Audible and stuff, and you get the same books for free audio wise.
I've gotten to a point now in my house where I have to check with my daughter and my wife first before I buy anything that would be a periodical or anything that would be anything published, right? Because chances are they've already got it on the library website. I bought her a Babysitter Club junior book, a Babysitter Club. Everybody knows the Babysitters Club. Mm-hmm. I bought my daughter a book, and then the same book that was a brand new book, I bought it at Target, the same book showed up at the house from the Orange County Library System to my door in the little blue paper. I could have saved myself $14. So
that is very true. I mean, there's a chance that sometimes you might have to wait a couple days for a book, or maybe they're too many checked out and they're on hold. So you have to maybe not get that instant gratification that going to Target or Amazon will get you. However, I like to tell people waiting for that package to come in the mail or waiting for it to show up in your browser, it's kind of like a present that you forgot that you gave yourself, and it just shows up and you're like, oh, that's right, I ordered this thing. So it's kind of awesome and exciting in a different way.
Yeah, May knows the look of books now is in that bright blue kind of like library book.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a visqueen, like a thick blue plastic, and when she sees it, she just knows, library book.
There's a hashtag, Blue Bags of Happiness, that people use on Instagram when they get their library deliveries. So that is a thing.
Blue Bags of Happiness. I love it.
Now, do you
and
have...
I walk around my neighborhood and I see them sometimes on neighbors' doorsteps, and I'm just like, ooh, library card holder. I like that neighbor.
Yeah.
So I point them all out, and there's library people.
That's awesome.
Do you have the publication Mini Truckin'? It's a magazine, apostrophe N. At the end,
they might. You'd have to look up what's the service again?
Press reader.
Press reader.
Okay.
Press reader.
Let's look. You know what? I'm gonna see.
Let's check out the Press Reader app and let's find out what's in their catalog.
Yeah. Because
yes, Mini Truck Trends. It's not Mini Truckin', it's Mini Truck Trends, which is their competitor magazine.
Okay, good enough.
But and yes, it's all. I see it right here. Mini Truck Trends.
All right.
That's amazing.
Can a Ford Maverick bring back Mini Truckin'? That's their latest article.
Can they teach me how to put my license plate a little sideways in the middle of my tailgate?
You gotta have a special tailgate.
Okay,
You gotta have a molded tailgate.
That's all I want to know. So, Aaron, tell us about Les Stroud, because I know he's going to be doing some speaking, and I was a big fan of Survivor Man, so I'm curious, and this was going to be off the air, but I was curious to see if we can get an interview too, because I got a lot of questions to ask old Les.
Yeah, he's going to be speaking as our closing keynote for our Big Read Call of the Wild event. So February 5th, we're going to be doing a Facebook Live and YouTube Live with him. You can ask him questions in the chat. And if you want to learn more about what he's up to, he's written a children's book, believe it or not. And it's supposed to introduce kids to, I guess, the joys of exploring the world, hopefully more safely than he does on the TV show, where he lets his truck run out of gas in like the Kalahari and then figures out how to live for a week without, anything but his cameras. But yeah, I mean, he's going to talk about his book. He's going to talk about his work. I assume he'll talk about, he actually went on like a week-long sled dog journey once and talked about how hard it is to like wrangle sled dogs. And that's a good tie-in for Call of the Wild. So he is going to be, doing a thing with us. And I think it's going to be kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Aaron, I'm not sure if you have watched Survivor Man, but there was one thing that always bothered me. Was
it the ponytail?
No. Was when he would set up the camera to show him walking away, like let's say pulling his sled or whatever, all his equipment or whatever.
An establishing shot.
Yeah, just like walking far, like what I'm saying. And it would always bother me knowing that he'd have to come back and get the camera.
I asked about that fishing line, and he pulled it back.
Like
real fast.
Like the amount of effort he would take to establish the shots was impressive, because it made the show what it was.
Aaron,
but the amount
Tom said this and ruined the show for me. I never noticed that, right? Because I'm this much more dumb than Tom. And we're watching the show, and then he goes, you know what bothers me about the show? The fact that I know he has to walk all the way back to get his camera for that establishing shot, and it ruined it for me.
Well, I'm going to fix it for you by saying, when you're out in the wilderness with nothing to do for 24 whole hours,
that's true.
In between those camera shots, you have a lot of time.
That's true.
So I'm sure that's all he had to do.
You're right. He had nothing but time.
Took him all of 6 minutes to do that.
But still, I was like, that's a lot of effort you did just for me.
Well, he's a pro. He's a pro.
I know. Well, that's great, Aaron. And again, OCLS.info for everything going on.
Books, now all your periodicals, digital. You can sign up with your card. All the simulators, the Melrose Center.
Yeah, they have in-person events that have returned. So check out the website.
Yep. They still have so many Zoom classes and educational tools that you will be there's too many. You have to go there and actually navigate the website to see what they offer, because they offer something for you. I guarantee it.
And Aaron, let's say you have a kid in middle school, and like people are constantly looking for stuff for their kid to do. And so I feel like OCLS has so many different things that could interest your kids that people don't know about. And they, it's like, and it's free if you have your library card.
Yeah, totally. I'll tell you about one really quick called BizKids. It's aimed for middle schoolers, and it's basically teaching kids. You have an idea, you want to start a small business. it's like a series.
How do I get Tom in biscuits?
Hold on, I can teach this class.
No. I want to sign you up for biscuits.
No, so I go.
Yeah. I'll pack you a little lunch, and I'll drop you off at the. What do I drop him off there? I'll drop you off there, put a mask on you, pack you a lunch.
Yeah. Like I go, there's me and a bunch of 13 we sit down. I need to learn business.
This would be good for your boys.
I have this idea, podcast. We charge people for our words.
Now, can these little kids, if they want to start they're not little kids, but these young kids can start like their own little business and deal and do it through you guys.
Yeah, and in the past, I mean, eventually we'll probably bring this back. We would have this little mini business fair, and we'd have like local entrepreneurs would come and like judge the booths, and the kids could sell their products.
That's awesome.
Super cool. Yeah, we had kids who made soap and kids who made T-shirts and kids who just had like great marketing like ideas that they wanted to talk about. So kids are super creative.
Maybe Tom could be a guest speaker. Maybe you'd like to...
If you want to, I'm sure that they would love to have more mentors.
Would you like to be a mentor for the biz kids, Tom and the biz kids?
I try to tell my wife and my sons how the podcast business works all the time.
Yeah.
They do
care
less.
They told me.
They do not care.
They said, this guy's an idiot.
I started telling my sons, I'm like, you know what you could do? I come up with business ideas all the time. I'm like, hey, you know how Daddy propagates all these plants? You guys, I'll teach you how to do it, and then you just sell them online, and you sell them to...
Two cute boys selling plants. You'll make so much money.
You sell them to our dumb listeners. They'll buy anything from Tommy. And then they're like, I want to play video games. Like we have enough. We have everything we want.
Why do they need to sell plants for you?
They don't
you have enough plants.
And they're like, we have no need for money. We live we don't want for anything. And I'm like, well, you're right. I ruined you.
Yeah. Let's go to the library.
Well, Aaron, thanks so much. We really appreciate it. Again, OCLS.info for everything Orange County Library System. And we'll talk to you next month about all the things going on at the library.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Take care. Give everybody some love there. We'll see you soon.
Will do. Bye.
Thanks, Aaron.
That was very, very cool. Boy, they're just adding more and more
stuff.
Just when you thought, and this one's kind of funny, though. This one makes me laugh a little bit. It's like, so we had like hundreds of thousands of books you can check out. And what I mean by that is if they don't have it at a certain branch, sometimes they'll even track it down from other branches and you can still get it, right? On top of that, we're just going to add 100,000 more magazines and just newspapers and periodicals that you can read now. So now you literally like, before it was unlimited stuff. Now it's unlimited.
Yeah. And you can get it all for free with your library card.
And it makes me angry because I do have Apple News Plus. I do have that. But I will not have it any longer. Because why would I pay for that?
Right.
When I have a library card.
Yeah.
But it just angers me. Because you're right. A lot of us, if not all of us, have like 2 streaming services or something that overlap. Or, I got a YouTube. My wife's got a YouTube. It's like, it's just too much.
Yeah, you pay for some app that gives you like kids boks or something. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's all, or like buying kids books. I know both my sons have Kindles.
Oh, they both have Kindles?
And it's like you could purchase books with your Kindle, but I'm sure that's all available for free at the library. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of what I found out. Yeah, and the digital aspect of it, I mean, it does take an element of, like 2 minutes to set up an account with a password that you can remember and stuff like that. But once you're in, you're in. Like Andrea gets, like, her Kindle will tell her when the book comes in digitally because they only have so many digital copies. I guess they could have unlimited, but that would be unfair to the actual author or the publisher, right? And then it'll just like download it automatically. So she'll wake up and she'll be like, oh, I have the new Nicholas Sparks book. It just got delivered. Like she didn't have to do anything. It just shows up.
Yeah. If you have your stuff together, but again, it's like you don't even.
And don't look at me. I don't have my stuff together. I just sit in silence half the time.
It's easy to get your card. You can do everything online, right? And they'll send it to you.
Online. Yep. And if you're not in Orange County, I think you can pay a little bit of extra money and get one anyway.
Yeah.
Like that's right.
A couple bucks extra.
I think it's like $12 or something.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna pay a little tiny bit. Nothing less than a fancy steak. For unlimited books.
Yeah,
there you go.
Magazine, yeah. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time.